What? 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 Why can't you? 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 I did this. Why can't you?
Oh shit.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you?
Great.
To be out in our communities, protecting people from public safety threats, but also being an example to our next generation of Americans. Our kids and our grandkids are desperate for examples to look up to. And the way that you lead, the way that you enforce the law, and the way that you do it with compassion, but also firmness, sets an example for how we want all Americans to live their lives. So just thank you for that, and know that we pray for you, that God will have his hand on you and your families and continue to bless you as you do your work. Listen, I'd like to thank everybody who's hosted me today. I know we've got a host of leaders that are here. We just met with Vince backstage a little bit and talked to him a little bit. Tony obviously has been very helpful. Michael, who's from New York State, Chief of Department, Mark Ross, Craig Miller. We've got Craig Lally as well. And then the Chicago Fraternal Order of Police Recording Secretary Rob is here.
Microphones
and then
are
Rochester Police Locust Club President Jeff is with us as well. But would you give all of those individuals who stepped up into a leadership position a round of applause for what they do to bring everybody together?
Let's clap it up. Let's clap it up for the people who are still working.
Now, in his State of the Union address just last week, President Trump reminded us of what it is every American's duty to do, and that is to serve the American people. That's what the government is to do. Those elected officials and those that step up into public service is to fulfill our duty to protect American citizens, that they should come first under our Constitution and our laws, and they should be prioritized, and especially over other people who are from other countries. The Constitution demands that we treat our citizens that way, and the men and women who serve at the Department of Homeland Security, they understand the importance of that, and we also understand the importance of all of our law enforcement officers and what they do across the country to keep people safe. The department was formed after the horrific events on 9/11, and just two.
I had another one. Let's just watch. That was ABC's Chicago. Let's go to Forbes.
The North Police.
11, and just 2 years later, as Congress put the department together with the support of the president, 23 different agencies who had a nexus and a focus on defending the homeland were put in order to make sure that they were all following the same mission every single day. So it's a very diverse department. It not only has FLETC in it that trains over 130 different federal law enforcement agencies and officers from those agencies. It also includes CBP, ICE, CWMD, which is Countering Weapons of Mass Destruction. So some of you may have gone through some of those trainings to help us detect some of the threats here in our homeland, and also some of the trainings that it takes as far as responding to fires and 911 calls in different specific situations. We have intelligence agencies. We also cover FEMA. FEMA is a disaster response agency, but it also is the agency that's entrusted to run the government on our very worst day. If we had a tragedy in this country where we needed someone to step up because our leadership was not able to, that agency would be entrusted to do that and to maintain our critical infrastructure. So they ensure that they go forward and maintain our electrical grid and our critical infrastructure such as water and systems that we rely on every day to help the American people be safe and to still have their way of life. We also have CISA, which some of you may have worked with them, which is our cybersecurity agency, which goes out and not only hunts down bad actors that would attack us on our cyber systems, but also gives us mitigation measures for how we can harden our systems. All of these entities work together to serve the American people and to make sure that we're prepared for any.
Wait. This guy, isn't he a sitting senator? So you're gonna fuck with your no, you don't have a tight margin. He's a great pick.
Threats that we may face, but also respond to them in a way that honors what our ideals are. The sacred duty of our government truly is that people are entrusted to secure the rights also of all the American people. You know, the Declaration of Independence states that governments derive their powers from the consent of the governed, which is the people. The people give us the right to do our jobs each and every day. And as long as this world is fractured and as long as human nature is fallen, we will need brave men and women who step up and serve and enforce our rights and our laws and our values. And that's what all of you do in this room with your colleagues. The heroism was on full display this last week when we saw the attack in Austin, Texas, and we saw that the first responders that helped protected people and more lives there were our law enforcement that responded immediately. Instead of running away, they ran to it. And though we lost 3 lives and saw many other people injured, they prevented so many other lives from being.
They're gonna have somebody from the Cherokee Nation running ICE. This is sick shit. This is sick.
This is sick shit.
Loss. We're very grateful that they are willing to do that and to serve in such a way. In fact, it reminded me of the quote that is often attributed to George Orwell that states, "People sleep peacefully in their beds at night only because rough men stand ready to do violence on their behalves," which means you step up in order to protect people, and you do it in a way that other people often are never going to be required to. When tragedies like what we saw in Austin take place, it's your leadership and it's your decision making that make all the difference. You use judgment, and people entrust you with their lives. You're on the front lines of leadership, and you have the responsibility of guiding and also shaping the next generation. So
Quick question. Are we going to get all the money back she took? Because she took a lot of money. Them contracts, can we nullify those? Can we nullify the contracts, please?
we thank you for that, and we thank you for what you do. I know that I've met many of you in the room. I've had the chance to visit with you. I appreciate your wisdom and your advice as we continue to develop trainings and insight into how leadership can work together to make good decisions and to break down the silos between agencies so that we can work together more different, in better ways than we have in the past. And you know, we're seeing challenges across the country from judges and courts that are working to stop some of our efforts, that are looking to take away some of the protections that you need in law to do your work. And then also,
I was reading up on this. Yes, he is a plumber who went from $2 million in pay before becoming a senator and is now between 35 million and 75 million. They're like, oh, I just coincidentally had like the hottest HVAC company in the entire state, and everybody got their shit from me. Seems very convenient.
we're seeing some challenges from sanctuary states and sanctuary cities. In fact, after I get done sharing a few more words, I want to hear your questions on ways that we can help you do your jobs. If you're in a situation where the laws may
If that's what you wanted, you should maybe not have brought up the D&D.
be a little different than it is in other states, or you may have unique challenges that
Yes, Allie, I'm going to pull that up. Weber's got 2 British pounds. Will it work? Will it work? Let me know if you guys can hear that. Also, comment, like, and subscribe. Say hello so I know who's here. 2 British pounds, 8-day-old company got 140 million, Mikey. Yeah, I showed that to my wife yesterday, and we were flabbergasted.
perhaps we could work together on to find ways to help you bring criminals to justice and to protect your community from public safety threats. America is the greatest country in the world, and it's the greatest country in the world that has great cities and
He just beats the shit out of his little sister for no reason.
great communities, regardless of where people live. We need to make sure that they have an opportunity to go to work every day safely and to send their kids to
Talking about cats, by the way.
school safely every day. Sanctuary cities do give us a challenge because it makes it difficult at times for law enforcement to do their work. And we see that many times when a city cooperates with the federal government, cooperates with our federal officers, that it is safer. In fact, 7 of our top 10 safest countries in the nation are not sanctuary cities. They're cities where the local law enforcement partners with us. They partner with our federal agencies, with the FBI, DEA, ATF, CBP, ICE, and our operations. And we've also seen across the country where 5 of our 10 most crime-ridden cities do not cooperate with us. We're those that are not cooperative with federal officers.
Before she sells another one.
No, the lie detector determined that was a lie.
Yeah, lying bitch. All the blue cities, their crime is going down. Meanwhile, the top 10 violent cities are all in red states by and large. Oops. Memphis is in Tennessee, my dear. New Orleans is in Louisiana, my dear. Oops. Where did it go? Oh, is it up here more? There it is.
Tell me about it.
Officers will see challenges on their streets. We've seen a lot of different situations from city to city. The one thing I would encourage you that no matter how frustrated you may be with some of that we can find a way to work together to do some good work for our people. In fact, even in Memphis, where we saw different leadership, we had different parties and the governorship. And
it says here, in 2022, Mullen introduced resolutions to remove the first and second impeachments of President Trump from the congressional record. Come on, man. Come on, man. Oh, come on, man. No, that's her voice. I'm not doing it. What up, Adam? But she can't get a hold, held accountability till Trump gone now, or am I wrong? I don't know what the statute of limitations on the things that she's done are, and I don't know that they're just not going to be like, oh my, we hate fraud, and we found another one. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that they won't just get her anyway.
And the mayor, we still were able to.
Oh, right, I was reading this. So he, Mullen, Mark Wayne Mullen, who's going to be replacing her, in 2021. Wait. Why did it resize? Oh, it took me way up. I read all this. I was down here. Here. Right here. Yeah. In 2022, Mullen introduced resolutions to remove the first and second impeachments of President Trump from the congressional record, which is just crazy. You know what I mean? Because it's not like it's on TV. It's not like people don't remember that it happened. But to have it purged from the congressional record so that, 60 years from now, when my kid's old and gray, so that it's not there and people are like, oh, what are you talking about? It's not in the record. I don't remember that. Like, we have cameras, idiot. House Republican conference chair Elise Stefanik supported the resolution. At the time, the House had Democratic majority, and the resolution did not pass. But that's who's going to be in charge of ICE now in DHS. Oh, boy.
Arrest and bring to justice over 2,600 criminals, and in a way that significantly dropped their crime rate and significantly helped those communities continue to take those public safety threats off the streets. We got over 150 different illegal sex offenders off of the street.
Oh, this is chunky. When elected to Congress, Mullen owned Mullen Properties, Mullen Farms, and Mullen Services, in addition to Mullen Plumbing. In 2012, he reported between $200,000 and $2 million in income from 2 family companies and another $15,000 to $50,000 from shares he held in a bank. At the end of 2021, Mullen reported assets increased to a range of $31.6 million to $75.6 million, compared to a range of $7.3 million to $29.9 million at the end of 2020. The increase was from the sale of his plumbing-related companies to Hometown Services. Is there a blue thing for them? No. I will copy and paste them. I want to see. I want to see what they're doing. Copy. A multi-state residential heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical company. Mullen said that the sale happened in early 2021 while Mullen was serving in the House of Representatives.
We saw one of those arrests included a criminal illegal alien from Venezuela that was convicted of aggravated criminal assault and abuse of a child. I'm thankful that that individual is no longer on the streets because of the cooperation of those local law enforcement. We have agreements across the country called 287G agreements. I'm sure you're familiar with them, but there is 3 different models that are available. One is a jail model that helps us with some detention. The other is a warrant service officer model that is extremely helpful for us to make sure that we can take jurisdiction or of an individual who's a criminal in a safety of an environment of a courthouse or a jail, and they can be turned over to ICE or so that we have the ability to return them back home. And the other model would be in the task force model, which I hope many of you have the opportunity to cooperate with us in, where we can use our different authorities to go out and go after the worst of the worst, those targeted operations that go after violent offenders and criminal offenders, and that we can bring them to justice and get them out of your city and your state. We've seen that program go from before President Trump was in office to only 135 of those agreements across the country signed to now we have over 1,400 of them in place. And it's been very beneficial to
Hometown Services is owned by private equity firm Center Oaks Partners. The Tulsa-based residential services company, which provides HVAC, plumbing, and electrical services in southern U.S., is led by CEO Steve Upshaw. So it's not owned by that guy, Steve. It's owned by a company. And company.
to make sure that we've removed over 400,000 criminal offenders out of this country. We've seen 3 million people leave our country that were here illegally, but over 750,000 of them were arrested and detained and removed. We'd much rather prefer that they volunteer to go home and that it
I just saw this. Hey buddy, what state is Memphis in? You're welcome.
can be a volunteer situation, but if not, if people are here illegally and committing crimes, we want to make sure we're able to detain them and get them out of your communities before we create more victims in the United States. I'm grateful for the work that you do because it's made a difference across this country. This last year, we've seen our murder rate in the United States of America drop to the lowest level since it's ever been.
Yeah, Kay puts this up. ICE has been buying warehouses all over the country. I think I have the clip in the playlist. I'm gonna let her talk for another couple minutes while I'm looking up this company or whatever. But yeah, not only are they purchasing warehouses in mass, but they're just paying anything for it. Anything. Just how much is it? 65 million. Here's 120. We'll call it great. Like, they're stupid, man. Like, they are stupid.
Recorded, and we've recorded our murder rate across the country for 125 years, and this year we broke the record for the lowest murder rate in the country, and that's because of the work of individuals in this room and individuals that we've been able to partner with.
She's talking to the jury right now. That's what this is, because she knows the trials are coming, and she's just, got to get this out there so the jury has some, plausible deniability on her side.
We've also taken 1.7 billion lethal doses of drugs off our streets and stopped them from coming into the United States. That means 1.7 billion people will still be with us because of the work that our agencies and our work has done. Our Coast Guard is an important asset in the Department of Homeland Security, and they've worked with us, and maybe have worked with some of you in the room as well, to help interdict those drugs and stop them from coming into our country. President...
Was it her or was it Pam Bondi was like, we seized drugs that could have killed 200 million people? It's like, what?
Trump has been working hard to make sure that he's delivering on what he promised the American people, and that's to make America safe again. In doing so, we have gone out and found over 1,500 known and suspected terrorists that were let into this country over the open border invasion that we saw during the last administration. Those 1,500 individuals who are already on our known and suspected terrorist watch list have been brought to justice and removed. We know there's many more, but we're going to still continue to look for them, to find them, and to do all that we can to make sure that this country is safe. Beyond that, we've also arrested and removed over 7,700 gang members, TDA members.
Oh, yeah. And the other thing was, like, she paused all the FEMA money. Like, she said, if it's over 100, or was it 100 or 10,000? It might have been 100,000, even still. anything over $100,000 had to go over her desk. Bro, we had like 16 floods, 4 or 5 tornadoes, a weak hurricane. Like we had mad natural disasters, some fires out in the plains. And she's over here like, well, before I give out anything, I want to look it over. Lady, you don't have time for that. We know how fast you read.
MS-13, Sinaloa cartel. The president is extremely focused on fighting cartels and recognize them as a foreign terrorist organization so that we could have new authorities to go after them. And we'll be working throughout the Western Hemisphere with.
You don't have to go after them. You need to make sure that that money gets sent to these flood zones. What are you talking about? And keep that money out of them damn ads.
All the countries to make sure that we're biting the snake off, cutting its head off. With,
I mean, fixing a water main break might be almost $1 million. You know what I mean? Like these are not like a fucking pipe in your underneath your sink. These are freaking, this is infrastructure things that have to get fixed through FEMA money. Yeah, let me just
fighting the cartels before they ever reach the United States, stopping the drug flow, stopping the guns and ammunition from getting here.
Oh, shit.
And then
So if shit, I wish I didn't do that. So if it's if they need hotels or something like that for the people that are like flying in from across the country to like help put the grid back together, typically they would get compensated for that. She's like, nah, let me go through each one of these motherfuckers' hotel requests so I can make sure that they're not wasting any money. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, this girl over here giving let me find the clip. Let me let her talk.
To make sure that he's delivering on what he promised the American people, and that's to make America safe again. In doing so, we have gone out and found over 1,500 known and suspected terrorists that were let into this country over the open border invasion that we saw during the last administration. Those 1,500 individuals who were already on our known and suspected terrorist watch list have been brought to justice and removed. We know there's many more, but we're going to still continue to look for them, to find them, and to do all that we can to make sure that this country is safe. Beyond that, we've also arrested and removed over 7,700 gang members, TDA members, MS-13, Sinaloa cartel. The president is extremely focused on fighting cartels and recognize them as a foreign terrorist organization so that we could have new authorities to go after them. And we'll be working throughout the Western Hemisphere with all the countries to make sure that we're biting the snake off, cutting its head off.
Oh my, come on, lady, you can't even talk. I mean, what in the Ozzy Osbourne is his Ice Barbie talking about?
Countries to make sure that we're biting the snake off, cutting its head.
All right, I gotta get this for the soundboard because she won't be around anymore. Ah! I've upset it. I've upset it deeply.
So that we could have new authorities to go after them. And we'll be working throughout the Western Hemisphere with all the countries to make sure that we're biting the snake off, cutting its head off with fighting the cartels before they ever reach the United States, stopping the drug flow, stopping the guns and ammunition from getting here and hurting our families in the homeland. We'll continue to work together to make sure that we have the opportunity to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is what I was like. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
Chair, I recognize the gentleman from Tennessee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam Secretary, welcome to the committee.
Thank you.
Gives me an opportunity to show you
In
the
hand.
8 letters that I have sent to you over the last year, only one of which have been replied to. So it gives me
You know what? Maybe later on we'll have to watch her confirmation because he did. I remember he did write her mad letters. Wait, where is it? Too many pictures. There we go. Nothing will stop them. Hey, everybody, make sure you, instead of drink your meat, I'm going to have you guys go out there and bite the head off of a snake. Yeah, for sure.
opportunity to ask you the questions and try to get an answer. One of the things you're most famous for, probably your quote of quotes, is we're going to go after the worst of the worst. the murderers, the pedophiles, the rapists, et cetera. In my letters, I said I agree with you on those things. People who are in this country illegally or not citizens who commit those crimes should be deported. But the facts show that most of the people that you have stopped and tried to deport have not committed any of those crimes. In fact, they've committed no crimes at all. I've got a study here from the Justice Department that shows that less than half as undocumented immigrants are less than half as likely as U.S.-born Americans to be arrested for homicide. And the pattern holds for assault, sexual assault, robbery, burglary, theft, and arson.
You know, if he's not going to talk about it, but the rest of that study is it takes like only 1 or 2 generations, and then immigrants are committing crimes at the same level as natural born citizens. I always thought it was funny. It's like, that makes sense because, you know, you got like the grandpa comes over and he raises the kids here, and the kids have that memory of their dad, but then their kids, hey man, they're just trying to burn out as fast as possible. You feel me?
They're half as likely to be arrested for drug offenses. That's an NIJ study. In Tennessee, there was a study that was just in the Commercial Appeal, our local newspaper in Memphis, that shows the same, that they are very unlikely to commit offenses. For the folks that are here in your families, I'm sorry. It's terrible what happened to your children or your family members. But they are more likely, and citizens are more likely to be attacked by United States citizens who are not undocumented, who came here and are born here. They are more likely to commit these crimes. So why do you continue to talk about the worst and the worst when all the statistics show we're not stopping the worst and the worst? We're doing what Stephen Miller wants to do.
Exactly.
Set a record.
$2. Thank you so much. Let me get an air horn. Oh, I can do it on my board. People come to America and go native. Right. Well, I don't think the native people were necessarily poorly behaved. They acted exactly how I would have acted. Actually, they're nicer than me.
Can I respond to you now, sir?
I hope you will now.
Okay,
It's
good.
been a year.
Well, thank you for your letters, and we have responded to those. When I came into office, there was years of letters that Mayorkas did not respond to, that we had to backlog and respond to all the letters that he received as secretary. In fact, one of those letters was
I just want to hear about the letters I wrote you.
567 days old.
Just tell me about the letters I wrote you.
I have responded to over 1,490 letters that I've gotten from members of Congress.
You could have done
in the last 12
1,498
months.
and done mine
That's
as well.
just individual letters. Sometimes they had 60 to 70 signatures on them, and we responded to every one of them.
Tell me about the worst of the worst.
The worst of the worst, sir. I think you've offended the families behind me today with that.
Did not intend to, and I think it's wrong for you to suggest it.
You're commenting on the fact that the individuals aren't violent reoffenders, and you keep talking about the fact that these individuals that are in this country illegally don't harm families.
No, I didn't say that. I said they're less likely than people born here. I didn't say that they don't do it.
Vast majority of these people behind me lost their children due to drugs, overdoses from drugs that came over the southern border. They died from their kids being hit on accidents on the roads that illegal drivers were driving. Truck drivers, Marcus Coleman and Delilah's father has told the story over and over again.
All that's true and a
about how that
given. That's
individual-
true and a given, Ms. Noem, but you say you're only going after the worst of the worst, and you're not. Go after the worst of the worst. And if you did, people wouldn't find your department to be the worst department in the United States of America.
We do targeted enforcement based on intelligence and go after the worst of the worst. When we are on those enforcement actions, if there are people with those individuals, we confirm their identities as well to make sure that they have legal status in our country. We need to make sure that people understand that when you come into this country illegally, overstay a student visa, if you don't go in for your
I'm going to
court
reclaim my time
appearances,
because
if you're out of legal status,
I'm reclaiming my
then you need
time,
to
Madam
go home.
Secretary, please.
Got to. She's not
That's
gonna
one
shut up.
issue. Another issue is the fact of training. And an ICE Academy has Ryan Schwank, a former instructor, an immigration and customs enforcement attorney, joined ICE in 2021 and resigned February 13 because he wanted people to know that he received secretive orders to teach new cadets to violate the Constitution by entering homes without a judicial warrant. He says the time, the studies, the constitutional law and deadly force have all been cut down instead of doing.
This is Steve Cohen. He represents Memphis.
8 hours a day, they do 12 hours a day. You've increased.
Sir, the gentleman you're referencing was detailed to FLETC for training for a couple of months. He's a trial attorney. He was never there before we changed the curriculum. He was only there for a couple of months after we had changed it and made sure that it was
She lying again. He said he worked there since 2021.
6 days a week, 12 hours a day. All of the individuals received all the training they did before.
I've got 27
and more.
seconds left.
They also
Let me-
received
27
training.
seconds left. I'll reclaim my time. I taught police law. You get more learning in the less time you give them. If you more time, they learn less because their brains start to go other places. Do you have any people that you've hired who were January 6 offenders?
Not that I know of.
Can you find going?
Yo, that is the worst. Not that I know of. Don't you think you should look? Are there any axe murders in your house? Well, I've never checked. And I'm not going to. So I don't. Does that answer your question?
Your records and tell me if anybody who you hired was a January 6 offender.
I'll get back to you on that.
Thank you.
Yep.
Gentlemen.
Where's the other one with the contracts? Let me go back. What did I press? Oh, because I'm full screen. I was like, what happened? What happened? I'll just leave this up while I'm
To everybody in the room that puts
I don't want to actually listen to her. Oh, I didn't say that. But we'll keep the visual going. Where was the other one? Her what's it called yesterday was an absolute nightmare. Nightmare. Hardest face plant. I mean, it was like skateboarder down a concrete steps bad. Like she was a full-on embarrassment yesterday. Let's see. I can't remember who it was. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Okay. Oh, here it is. That's just oh yeah, this one. Okay, and we got Corey Lewandowski. Okay, oh, it was Nagoose. That's right.
Gentleman yields back. Unanimous consent request from the gentleman from Texas.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I ask unanimous consent to insert the record an article from title.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, Madam Secretary. Thank you for being here. I want to discuss in greater detail
So I want everybody to remember here, she's not lying. She would never lie. Lying's bad. Bad. She's not lying. She's not covering anything up. She's not. So don't think that that's what this is, because she's not.
expansion of advertising in your department under your tenure, and I believe you testified regarding some of these matters yesterday in front of the United States Senate. In particular, I want to discuss the department's $220 million ad campaign. This is the ad campaign that featured you at Mount Rushmore. You're familiar with this ad campaign, correct?
I am familiar with it. It was an ad
So
campaign that was.
I'm going to ask you some questions about it,
placed
Madam Secretary. So
Okay.
as I understand it, this is a $220 million ad campaign. It's split between two contractors. One of those
Is that what we need to be doing? Is fucking doing ads? $220 million contract. Look, we could do that. I don't even know what it is, but I'm sure we could do it. And based on what it is, will determine on whether it actually accomplishes its goal. But either way, we want money.
contractors got $143 million. That contractor is called Safe America Media, correct?
Correct.
Okay. That company is affiliated with a former political director of the National Republican Congressional Committee. Now, yesterday you testified, I think I'm quoting you right, you said, quote, or in reference to this contract, that, quote, it went out to a competitive bid. Do you stand by that statement?
It was a no bid contract where two vendors were.
And maybe this is what we are to expect going forward in the Trump era is get off my screen. You're making everything lag. Krusty the Clown. Thank you. In the new era where instead, like when they get caught on something, they don't even deny it anymore. They just say the truth like they've always said it. You know what I mean? So when he asked her, like, do you want to correct what you said? You said it was a competitive bid, but it was actually a no bid, which means y'all just decided who you were going with. You didn't actually put it out there in the marketplace where vendors could lobby to see who could do the job the best for the best price to save the most taxpayer money. You actually just gave it to your friend, right? And she's like, well, yeah, I gave it to my friend. And then she just said, you know what I mean? They just say the shit. It's like, you know, that's a fucking crime, right? Dumbass.
Stand by that statement?
It was a no bid contract where two vendors were.
It was a no bid
chosen.
contract.
If it would have been a no bid contract, if I'm using that correctly, it goes out to two different vendors.
Correct. So it was not a
many
competitive.
media
Let me try to explain
agency.
what the discrepancy, because a competitive
I put the ProPublica.org episode link in the description.
bid is very different than a no competitive bid. And I'll just explain why. We know that your testimony yesterday, when you said, again, I'll quote, it went out to a competitive bid, is untrue. The reason we know it's untrue is because under federal law, your agency is required, whenever the agency decides to skip competitive bidding, to file a notice with the public explaining why. And in this case,
Right.
your agency filed a notice.
Right.
You're aware of that,
Right.
right? Justification and approval for other than full and open competition. Your agency made a decision not to proceed with competitive bidding, and one of the contractors that got the award was this Safe America Media Company that received $143 million.
Many
Right?
vendors got the chance to look at that contract and to participate in it.
Well,
So that is why the two of them were
that's
chosen.
inaccurate, Madam Secretary. I'll read from the notice from your agency.
And that's the other thing. She put out the notice saying, hey, by the way, we're not going to actually do a competitive bid. We're just going to pick these guys. Here's the reasons. Blah. She released a statement. And now she's like, well, you know.
Given the immediate action to significantly reduce illegal immigration and border crossings, DHS identified 4 companies.
So it's not 2. So stop trying to say it was 2. It was 4. So there, double. What more do you want?
4 of the hundreds of thousands of companies in the United States, you identified 4. One of those is this Safe America Media Company. Where is Safe America Media headquartered?
I don't know.
Tulsa, Oklahoma. I looked it up.
I don't know either, Madam Secretary. We can't find it. We can't find a website. We did find an address that's registered for this company. Do you know where that address is?
Is there a problem with this contract?
I'll
Because
tell you
was
about
done
it.
According to
Madam
law,
Secretary,
it
the
was done by career
address is
officials.
registered to a
It
political
was
operative.
dollars that were spent
Madam Secretary, the
to
company,
inform
and then
people
I'll give you an
that the
opportunity to
laws-
respond. The company is registered to a political operative in Virginia. Do you
there you
know,
go.
just by way of example, whether this company that received $143 million
Oh, you know what? The plumbing company's in Tulsa. Shit. My bad.
in taxpayer dollars, has it ever done work for the government before?
I don't know. I can't.
The answer is it has not. And do you know why we know that? Because it was incorporated 8 days before this contract went out.
MAGA to the front of the class. MAGA, come up. I know some of y'all are creep watching back there. Come on. Next one should be on Bill Marshall for sure. Smoking a blunt. That's funny. Like, come on, lady. Like, this is just theft, right? This is fraud. MAGA to the front of the class, please. Y'all were so furious about the Somalians. This lady is over here giving her friends $200 million contracts.
You know, just by way of example, whether this company that received $143 million in taxpayer dollars, has it ever done work for the government before?
I don't know. I can't.
The answer is it has not. And do you know why we know that? Because it was incorporated 8 days 8 days before this contract went out. You want the American people to believe that this is all above board?
Yes,
that
I-
143 million
Yes, I do. That would be easiest if you just believed me.
people to believe that this is all above board?
Yes,
that
I-
$143 million of taxpayer money just happened to go to this one company that doesn't have a headquarters, doesn't have a website, has never done work for the federal government before, and is registered apparently or attached to a residence from a political operative. And of course, one of the subcontractors of that contract, as you know, is a political firm that's tied to you back when you were governor of South Dakota. The reason why I ask these questions is that this is taxpayer money. And I presume, I don't know this for a fact, but Senator Tillis noted yesterday the way in which your agency is blocking the Inspector General from 11 different investigations that it is trying to conduct. I don't know if this happens to be one of them. I certainly hope it is, because eventually the facts will become public in this regard. And there are serious
Can't hide forever, and they have no reason to have your back now. Trump's already given them the stamp where they can all just like poo-poo on you, and no one has to like you anymore, so they can all stop pretending. You're fucked, lady. You're fucked.
laws implicated.
They're gonna fucking turn on her so quick. She's gonna be, everything is about to be her fault. Mark my words. He does it every time.
Conflict of interest laws, federal procurement laws that I believe.
Then I fell asleep in the staff meeting. That was because of Kristi Noem. She was texting me all night, and now I can't. I got no sleep.
All followed, all done correctly,
Was
all
it-
done
all done
legally.
correctly?
14 billion impressions from that
yeah,
marketing campaign.
sure.
It was money spent in this country and in 8 different
Oh my God, she's talking about impressions. Oh my God. Oh my God.
countries that illegal migration was coming from.
Madam Secretary,
Overwhelmingly
yeah,
effective.
we all
$39
understand the argument that you've
billion.
made, the argument that you've made that somehow this
I think this is way more money because the 147 or whatever was for one company and it was like 80 something for the other one. That's what they're talking about, $220 million in ads. We're just talking about ads, y'all. We're not talking about, training and body cams or facilities. No, this is just ads, which is why it's like, how are you spending that much money on ads? You're not.
ad campaign on Fox News of you at Mount Rushmore has led to millions of people self-deporting. You're
Why do you
using
think
millions
that
of
they did
dollars of
self-deport? Had they
taxpayer
not
money
known?
in this way. It is fraud, and ultimately, I think there's going to be accountability. And I yield back, Bill.
Can I speak to the IG?
Yes, you can.
The IG has been told repeatedly, in writing, verbally, on the phone, that he can have access to anything at the Department of Homeland Security. He can. He doesn't need my permission to come and brief members of Congress on the Hill. He just needs to provide a scoping memo, which is what every single IG gets from every single department and agency. All intelligence agencies require a scoping memo. He just hasn't done that. He wants unfettered access to every single thing in the department, and that's not the process, and that's not any other IG has demanded that.
The little girl is right. Your lies are boring. Where is it? Let's see. There's his assets, and then he went to Congress. This is who's replacing her. I think he's been on Unboxed, which is tonight in 6 hours. In August 2021, during the final days of the U.S. withdrawal of Afghanistan, Mullen and several Americans flew to Greece and asked the U.S. Defense Department for permission to continue in Kabul, Afghanistan. Mullen planned to rent a helicopter to fly an unidentified family of the United States out of Afghanistan. At the time, the U.S. was in the process of evacuating 124,000 people out of Afghanistan as Taliban forces retook the country. The Defense Department refused Mullen's group request. On August 3rd, Mullen telephoned the U.S. Embassy in Tajikistan and asked officials there for immediate assistance into Dushanbe, Tajikistan, for the same purpose. Dushanbe is 150 miles north of Kunduz, Afghanistan. Because Mullen planned to bring a large sum of money for the helicopter rental, the plan was deemed in violation of Tajikistan's currency importation restrictions. Embassy staffers therefore refused to help. Mullen's group ultimately did not visit the region, so he tried to go over there with a briefcase full of cash. The U.S. State Department had warned Mullen not to try to rescue Americans in Afghanistan, and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy have both urged members of Congress to avoid travel to Afghanistan during the final days of the U.S. military presence. Because you're going to get fucking taken hostage, brother. Like, that's pretty apparent. Oh, here's the subcommittees that he's on. Committee of Armed Services, Subcommittee on Airland. Come on. Emerging Threats and Capabilities, Readiness and Management Support, Committee on Environment and Public Works, Subcommittee on Chemical Safety, Waste Management, Environmental Justice, and Regulatory Oversight, Subcommittee on Clean Air, Climate, and Nuclear Safety, Subcommittee on Transportation and Infrastructure, Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pension, and Indian Affairs. So then in 20, so he was only, so when did he win? Oh, he won a special election and then immediately went to the Senate. That's crazy. Oklahoma is weak as fuck, boy. I'm talking about they don't never have their shit together. All right, let me close this window. It's this window right here. There we go. Look at that. Moving all smooth again. That window had like a gig in the cache. I don't know why. I don't know. That's crazy. All right, let me find the rest of them. History. Oh, yes. Okay, so then I can go over. Oh, yeah, this is it. I don't hear nothing. Oh.
About the disaster.
Why are you muted?
Biden and Mayorkas, your predecessor, created. It was absurd. You heard the things from Senator Brett, people that came over here who themselves were traumatized by the very people who then come to this country and traumatize American citizens. You heard Senator Schmidt saying the same thing. A lot of us are very frustrated with the disaster that President Biden left behind and a failed DHS.
Boy, you can go straight to hell with your Blue Lives Matter fucking lapel pin. There's nothing worse than the fucking bootlickers who have fucking logos and merch. You know what I mean? Like, just make, instead of the Blue Lives Matter, just make a blue boot with your tongue firmly pressed against it.
It's why I'm angry, and it's why I've been critical of you, Secretary Noem, because we're missing an opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the reasons President Trump won a year and a half ago is because people were sick and tired of a Democratic administration's open border policy and allowing millions of people to come to this country, 1.7 million called gotaways. We don't even know where they are, but we know when you pay a premium to a cartel to get them into this country, they're bad people. Now, why have I been critical of Secretary?
And that's why Trump had to pardon the Honduran president for his role in that country being a narco state. Oh, that's right. We pardoned him. Right.
Very known. Because I don't think we're focusing on, we have limited resources. ICE can't be everywhere at once. There's very few people in
limited resources, you say.
This in Capitol Hill that support law enforcement more than me, including the sworn ICE officers. In fact, I've just been told, fortunately, in about a week and a half, we're going to get a plaque on the wall over the Capitol, thanking the Capitol police officers and all the agencies that responded on January 6th. All those thugs have actually been pardoned, and yet we haven't thanked the Capitol police officers for their work.
See, this is the thing about Republicans right now. They can't not still be mad about what they're mad about. Like, they still don't like that police are getting their ass whooped, even if it's by people that support the guy that they support. Like they still don't like it, so they have to keep doing this song and dance where January 6ers are bad, but ICE needs more support. Like, bro, these are the same picture. They're the same people.
Care. So when I say I'm unapologetically pro law enforcement, you can count in every single sworn officer in Homeland Security. So why am I disappointed with
Then go be a cop. Why are you in Congress? Go be a cop.
Secretary Noem? Because we're not going after enough people who did this damage at the expense of running numbers that Stephen Miller wants out of the White House.
Oh.
We just want numbers. We want 1,000 a day, 6,000 a day, 9,000 a day because numbers matter, right? No, they don't matter. Quality matters, not quantity.
Uncle Thom is really going to giving it to her.
Quality. And what we've seen is a disaster. Under your leadership, Ms. Noem, a disaster. What we've seen is innocent people getting detained that turn out are American citizens. I could talk about the culture that's been created here with Stephen Miller aiding and abetting. I heard first reports that
I got the time delay on the regular chat so you guys can have a safe refuge from the obvious trolls that are going to come in here. It's like, she's great. I love her. She delivered my baby. But not my puppies. Don't trust her with the puppies.
He was the one that said it was
Cruella
a domestic terrorist
dies.
situation where 2 people lost their lives in Minneapolis. I've heard that report. Maybe you can refute it. I don't know that we'll have time for you to respond because I'm giving you a performance evaluation here. I'm not looking for a response. And I'm saying, Ms. Noem, that time after time after time I've been disappointed. But before I get back to looking at the vicious people that did this damage to these families, I want to talk a minute about FEMA.
Oh, before we do, Billy says tons don't put water on the stove and curse them in the name of Jesus. Actually, she did the opposite of curse them. She rebuked him in the name of Jesus, meaning she was trying to pull out whatever evil spirit was in here, in that person to let them know. Caw. Oh, right. Peacock. Oh, is Witchy here? Just sixes are either out committing crimes or working for the ICE terrorists. They're ISIS. They are the crime now.
You have a policy right now that anything over $100,000 has to go through your desk for approval.
Uh-oh.
I asked my staff, because I'm a management consultant, I don't try to do cheap shots in here, but the facts do not lie. This is your administration for FEMA response. This is President Trump's first administration. Which one would you like to have? If you're a state that has a $60 billion disaster, your biggest disaster.
What's that chart about? Net obligations and outlays, Hurricanes Matthew, Florence, and Helene. So on the y-axis, it is, I'm guessing, it looks like it goes from, like the bars are every 200, and I'm guessing that's every 200 million, because that seems really small. I don't think $1,400 would be the top of the chart, you know, or $1,600 would be the top of the chart. Okay, so the line in the solid color is the overlays, and the dotted line in the color, I know that's going to be really hard for you guys to see, is the obligations. So the obligations you'll look at first, like there was up to $1.4 billion needed. I don't know what that x-axis is. Is that months? Is that years? I'm guessing it's months. Okay. Source, FEMA Disaster Relief Fund monthly report. That's months. Oh, wow. So at one point they were obligated, they were looking to spend 1.4 billion, and they only spent 650 when these people were and that was in response to Helene, which was a pretty bad hurricane, and she just didn't give the money out. So then when the obligation is low, 11 months after the fact, that's when not even to what they needed, but what they needed minus $200 million. Like, Jesus, lady. God, you're bad at this.
South Dakota that I can tell that when you were an elected official was about $500 million. So 1/100th of this single storm where thousands of people are hurting in North Carolina and you're just barely catching up. This is what competent FEMA leadership looks like.
Yeah, exactly. So where's the rest of the money? She's got to just like, they get allotted so much money over each budget or whatever, each yearly budget. She's already blown through her money, and it clearly did not go to these fucking hurricane survivors. You know what I mean? Like, it did not go there.
Like, this is what incompetent FEMA leadership looks like. And people are hurting in Western North Carolina from the most significant storm they've ever experienced. This is what we need more of. I'm convinced you can't do it. If you're requesting a review of $100,000 and up, then it begs the question, why? Why would you be involved in that? Why would that be a policy? And in a minute, I'll ask about some people that are involved, some special government employees. Why are they involved in it?
Ooh, Corey Lewandowski.
Thank you.
Senator,
No.
that $100,000 only had to do.
And I will hold the clock until I finish. The bottom line is I've done the analysis. And you can say whatever you want to. I've worked with a Democrat governor. I've worked with a Republican governor. I've worked with fiscal research. We have people contacting my office now to get the information to better understand the failure of this department. You failed at FEMA. And in fact, if I get to it, actually, why don't I cover this right now? The Homeland Security Act of 2002 expressly prohibits the Secretary of Homeland Security from restricting or diverting FEMA resources from the agency's mission. Based on your disaster response, the chart that I just showed you, I have reason to believe that you're violating the law, either knowingly or unknowingly. So I'll be asking and getting a submission to the record, submitting a question for the record, what the total amount of FEMA reimbursements are currently being held by DHS, awaiting for final approval. Held by...
No, they spending that money. They spending it. It's gone.
DHS, awaiting for final approval for an agency that you should not be.
And I hope MAGA understands this. Like, just by blindly supporting dumbasses, even though they're dumbasses, just because you want to own the libs, that shit's expensive. Like, they put in a fucking pickpocket. Y'all put in Lupin the Third. Like, this lady is a klepto fucking maniac. How do you just... it's hurricane money, lady. It's hurricane money. You can't steal the hurricane money.
Instructing the disbursement on. I'm going to give you time to answer to it under penalty of perjury so that we can get it right.
Woo!
Now, going back to Minneapolis, why can't we just say we made a mistake?
She was like, I ain't answering that shit. Hey, fire me, dog.
I will ask you one question, if you can just give me a quick response. Who does Tom Homan work for?
Oh, man.
You or the president?
The president.
Man.
Okay. Why is that? Because I believe the president recognized that you weren't getting it done in Minneapolis, and you're putting us further away from pointing to this. We're beginning to get the American people to think that deporting people is wrong. It's the exact opposite. The way you're going about deporting them is wrong. The fact that you can't admit to a mistake, which looks like under investigation, is going to prove that Miss Good and Mr. Petty probably should not have been shot in the face and in the back. Law enforcement needs to learn from that. You don't protect them by not looking after the facts. Not only should the FBI be investigating it, but every single law enforcement agency in that jurisdiction should be invited to it. So our law enforcement officers do not have this pall cast upon them. One of the reasons why ICE officers are having threats, and damn the people that threaten ICE officers, because so many of them are doing a good job, is because you've cast a pall on them by acting like we should investigate things differently. Officer-involved shootings have a formula that we should go through every time. And we're not going through that formula. As a matter of fact, in Ms. Good's case, I think that they were even saying that maybe there wasn't even a need to do it in the DOJ. I hope that that's changed. But I'm telling you, it was a civil rights review. I saw your frown. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But originally, Blanche said there wouldn't be an investigation. Folks, law enforcement, we've got to have their back. We've got to make it clear when they make a mistake, then they get corrected for it. But you don't walk away from it, and you've done it too many times. Now, Secretary,
Jesus.
I read your book last week.
Oh, no.
And honestly, some of the
Oh, no. Why'd you go do a silly thing like that there, Thom? Thom. It's Tom with an H. Thom. Thom, don't read it.
parts of it impress me, but some of it distresses me. And I'll give you a good example of one that does. The passage where you talk about killing a dog that was 14 months old. I train dogs, all right? And you are a farmer. You should know better. You should know that if you're going out to a hunting lodge and you're putting pheasants out and you're putting dogs out, you don't take a puppy out there. A 14-month-old dog is basically a teenager in dog years. You decided to kill that dog because you had not invested the appropriate time in training, and then you have the audacity to go into a book and say it's a leadership lesson about tough choices.
I didn't know it was only 14 months. She did shoot a puppy. Not a puppy. Yo, y'all approved a puppy shooter? I thought it was like an old dog, like old Yeller shit. It was a puppy? Who shoots a fucking pup? Give the puppy away. There's no neighbors? There's no humane society? Just turn them in. Jesus. I thought it was an old dog this whole time, and I thought people were just like joking about the puppy part. I didn't know it was an actual puppy. Jeez.
It's in your book. We could play it if we had time. At that same lunch hour, you killed a goat. And you killed the goat because...
So I went to go find his post about Noem. Oh, no. I didn't mean to close that. Shit. I was trying to move it, but it lagged. But in between Trump's posts on Truth Social, there's like fucking this lady holding a vial, and then like on her hand is written twice as good as the blue pill. And I'm just like, this is our country, dude. They have fucking dick pill ads in between the president's correspondence with the people of America. What is this place?
you said it was behaving badly. You are a farmer. You don't castrate a goat. They behave badly. You should have probably done that before. But my point is, those are bad decisions made in the heat of the moment, not unlike what happened up in Minneapolis. I expect we're an exceptional nation. And one of the reasons we're exceptional is we expect exceptional
young Yeller
leadership. And you've demonstrated anything but that in the time that I've seen you responding to the emergency in North Carolina and across the Southeast. And
here we go. Neuropathy? Do this simple Okinawan trick before bed. Like, look at the slop. Damn, he ain't even got no motion on his own website. Yo, only 22,000 hearts on Trump. Dude, this is your website. World of Warships. Keystroke lock. World of Warships again. Harvard. Toxic plaque is the real root of neuropathy. Like, dude, look at this. Here's another one. Magnetic flags built for American roads. Here's an AI of the ballroom. More AI of the ballroom. Some weirdo. Yo, this place is cooked. Where's the gnome thing? I don't even see it. How many hours ago did he fire? God, he posts a lot. Look at all these fucking retweets. He doesn't know how to post. That's the other thing. Yeah, dude, there's nothing but bots on here. He has like no... I can't get this off of here. He has like no... Like, look at how little interaction is going on here. Like, the SAVE Act is like their big thing that they're trying to get through Congress right now. I think the cult's left, dude. I think they're all just like folding up their red hats and going away because I don't even, you know what I mean? There's not even like people on here reacting to shit. I would not like notifications from this fucking cursed website. I'm literally here for one moment only. Melania Trump makes history presiding over UN Security Council, remarking over Iran war deaths. Like, why are you sending her? All right. So he went to sleep eventually. So this is 15 hours ago. This is 5. So where's the one with about Noem? Or did he just say it on Twitter or something? Yeah, I don't even see it. Huh. Where is it? Did he delete it? Yeah, I don't see it. Just a bunch of ballroom shit. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I am pleased to announce that the highly respect. Why is it capitalized? So, United States Senator from the great. He must be typing right now. Great state of Oklahoma, Mark Wayne Mullen will become the United States Secretary of Homeland Security effective March 31st, 2026. The current Secretary, Kristi Noem, has served us well and has had numerous and spectacular results, especially on the border. We'll be moving. God damn, he's such a fucking run-on sentence. If a run-on sentence was a person. We'll be moving to the special envoy for the Shield of the Americas. What the fuck? Our new security initiative in the Western Hemisphere. We're announcing on Saturday in Doral, Florida. Okay. The Shield of the Americas. Boy, you about to be in jail or dead. What are you talking about? You are 900 years old. Anyway. Serving 10 years in the United States House of Representatives and 3 in the Senate. Mark has done a tremendous job representing the wonderful people of Oklahoma, where I won all 77 out of 77 counties. God damn it, dude. No one fucking asked. It's fucking Oklahoma, dude. In 2016, 2020, and 2024, a MAGA warrior and former undefeated professional MMA fighter, Mark Wayne truly gets along well with people and knows the wisdom and courage, because it's capital, required to advance our America First agenda. As the only Native American is fine. In the Senate, Mark Wayne is a fantastic advocate for our incredible tribal communities. You know, it's funny that he should say that because he straight up fucking hates Native people. He has been on an I fucking hate Native people kick since fucking since the casinos, because he didn't want to get taxed on them. He's like, how come they get to have casinos and I don't? Like, you do get to have a casino, but you just don't get a tax exemption from it. He's like, that's bullshit. Well, how do you know that they're actually native? Though they don't look native to me. I don't see no headdresses over there. I don't see no drums over there. How do you know that they're native? Like, he was that guy, like as annoying as he was for what's it called? With the birtherism thing, he was just as rabid about Native people and making them prove that they're native so that they can have these tax deals that he wanted for himself. So yeah, he hates tribal communities, by the way. Mark Wayne will work tirelessly to keep our border secure, stop migrant crime, murderers, and other criminals from illegally enter our country, and the scourge of illegal drugs, and make America safe again. Mark Wayne will make a spectacular Secretary of Homeland Security. Thank you for your attention to this matter. 26,000 likes. Dude, no one's on this website. This website is dead. This website is dead.
Acknowledging when mistakes are made and speaking too soon for the expedient of social media or whatever it is.
Yeah, but that's the thing. These people had fucking casinos and shops and all that shit for 10, 15 years. And then he tried to copy them. And then he got all butthurt. He's like, well, I don't even think they're actually native. They had been native, motherfucker. They're native, motherfucker. They're on the fucking res. What do you think they fucking just came out of the goddamn, like, it's not a, oh, I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure. No, it's just racism.
I'll leave you with this, Ms. Noem. I'm expecting answers to Charlotte's Web. I requested it a month ago. That was one of the investigations in Charlotte, 20 minutes from where I live. All I asked for, if it had to be anonymized, was information so that I could determine if your hit rate is right. I want to find more of those people, and I want to detain fewer of the others. And Mr. Chair, in my remaining time, I have a lot to go. But I want to submit this letter from the Office of Inspector General that cites 10 different instances under Ms. Noem's leadership where they've been misled and not allowed to pursue investigations that they think are critically important. Does anybody have any idea how bad it has to be for the OIG in this agency to come out and do this publicly? That is stonewalling. That's a failure of leadership. And that is why I've called for your resignation. And if I don't get an answer to these questions, I don't want an applause. Please don't do that for me.
Hold on. That might be soundboard worthy. Hold on.
Failure of leadership. And that is why I've called for your resignation. And if I don't get an answer to these questions, I don't want an applause. Please don't do that for me. If I don't get an answer to these questions, if I don't get an answer that you've had a month to respond to, and the remaining ones, as of today, I'll be informing leadership that I'm putting a hold on any en-bloc nominations until I get a response. And in 2 weeks, if I don't get a response, I'm going to deny quorum and markup in as many committees as I can until I get a response.
See, and now what he just said there was very important.
As of today, I'll be informing leadership that I'm putting a hold on.
Let me see if I can get the transcript so we can follow the words exactly, because this is what the actual fuck I have been talking about.
Any en-bloc nominations until I get a response.
Okay. I'm going to deny quorum and markup in any in as many committees as I can until I get a response. Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is what the Democrats could have been doing since day one. Quorum. Do we have a quorum? Is everybody here? If everybody's not here, then we can't proceed. Sorry. Oh, we only need 2 more people to proceed. Oh no, 2 of us left. Make everybody show up for work. Make them show up for work. But if you keep giving them a quorum and you keep allowing them to do shit, he's over here saying, if you don't get rid of her, I'm going to fuck this whole shit up. I'm throwing all the monkey wrenches in the gears. Fuck it. I'm turning the bus around. Fuck it. I have no idea why Democrats don't do that. They could have been denying a quorum this entire time because the Republicans have not been showing up.
And in 2
Let me grab the other one. Actually, I think I need to change something real quick. I think the way I was sharing it was creating extra problems for me, which I do not want. I do not want. Unbelievable. Oh, I hear Moana in the background. I was like, who is singing? Oh, Moana. Doing her thing. Let me go to history. I mean, I didn't see that from Tillis. Yeah, she was that was from 2 days ago. So she's been cooked, and it's only been getting more and more well done on the grill. I see now. I see now. There we go.
And then September 29, 2025, Courthouse News, states sue DHS again over cuts to anti-terrorism grants for blue states.
Without objection, the gentlelady from Texas is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you so much. And Madam Secretary, you are almost to the end, so congratulations. I just have a couple of questions.
Yo, that's petty. I don't care what y'all say. Jasmine's being petty right here. Hey, I know you've had a long day. You're almost done. My turn.
Are you aware that the law that was written by this Congress makes it clear that members of Congress are allowed to, entitled to enter any detention?
Representative Crockett, I apologize. I have to run to vote in another committee, secretary, and Mr. Schmidt will chair, and you will get extra 15 seconds, but I apologize for that.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much
Mr.
for your
Chairman.
testimony.
Appreciate it.
Are you aware that the law makes it clear that members of Congress are allowed to enter any detention facility at any point in time in which they choose to?
Yes, I'm aware of the visitation and oversight responsibility, and we work every day to try to accommodate members of Congress.
We don't work every day. You do it. There's no, I try my best. Every day I try. I wake up in the morning. I'm like, it might happen this time. I might actually let Congress in here to inspect. But my lumbago, my lower back, it just kind of, but we're trying. Hey, we're trying. Oh, come on, internet. YouTube's probably crashing. Everybody's streaming right now. Come on. I better stop pausing. Oh boy, it's upset. It's angry. This is Tim's fault. Comment, like, and subscribe. What do you do for your country, Ben Prod, bro? You're looking at it, brother. I pay taxes. Did you want me to do something different? Come on, you fucking thing. Let me just F5.
And oversight responsibility, and we work every day to try to accommodate members of Congress while taking into account the safety of those individuals that
Let me
are being
be
detained
clear,
there.
at any time, correct?
Yes, I understand there's litigation in this area.
No,
too, and so
that's not
we
my
are
question. I'm not
facilitating
asking you
that.
about litigation. I'm asking you what the law is, because let me put it to you this
There's
way.
an appropriations rider that talks about
Correct,
oversight.
and appropriations
That is
are
correct.
law, because you are asking us to
Correct.
appropriate dollars right now for DHS, correct?
Correct.
And if we do that, you would take that as law, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that is what the law states, yet somehow, myself and another colleague, Congressman Castro, we ended up giving a 7-day notice to the Dilley detention facility because I had actually already gone to El Paso before. And when I went to that facility and I asked them why it was that they were requiring me to do something that specifically my branch of government had dictated was not required, they said it was because of you. They said you were the one that said that they were not allowed to allow us entry unless we gave a 7 days heads up. Is that true?
The law specifically states oversight and visitations, and we are working to
My question
facilitate
is,
those. And we're at that time.
Did you give the instruction that members must give a 7
So in other news, Reform UK have had yet another multi-million-pound donation in crypto today, and Britney Spears was arrested for drunk driving. Yeah, man, leave Britney alone. Poor Britney. Here's the thing. I like how these guys are keep pouring money into politics as if it's not just like, I mean, look at fucking Krusty the Clown over here. They're doing all this millions and millions of dollars for ads. I can tell you a lot of people, stop zero. A lot of people never saw them fucking ads. You know what I mean? They're not seeing those ads. They're just like putting out ads that cost a little bit of money here, a little bit of money there. And they're just keeping that shit. So just because these people are donating to campaigns, just expect it to be corruption. You know what I mean? Just expect it to be like a favor to be repaid later. Oh, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Nice Templar shield you got on there. Thanks for giving yourself away. I love it when you guys forget to change your thumbnails. Like, I don't know what all your little code words are. Well, at least she has a job. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because Krusty the Clown. I see way too many of those ads for. And the thing is, it's like at what point do you just stop pouring money into the fire, like buckets of money into the raging flames? Like at some point, you should probably stop. She will never learn that lesson. Well, she doesn't have a chance to learn that lesson now because she's unemployed.
Days heads up or not?
We had a policy in place that allowed us to get.
Were you the one that ordered that policy?
I have a responsibility for ensuring everybody in that facility is going to be safe and that I have adequate
no, but that's not
staff
my question, because
to
the
conduct
problem,
a
let
tour
me tell you
and
why we need
oversight
to
at the same time.
reclaiming my time. The reason that I'm talking to you about this policy and you're talking to me about safety is because I did go into the Dilley detention facility. And let me tell you, they're not safe. This is why we need to conduct oversight, because your people continue. In fact, you have lost more lives in detention than anybody else. That is your record right now. So I don't expect that y'all are going to be the ones that are going to be best to keep them safe. This is why we are supposed to conduct oversight and not wait for you to give permission. In fact, after I left the Dilley facility, we were informed of a measles outbreak.
So my question is, why is it that the Democratic congressional people are the only ones going to inspect these facilities? I mean, dumb shit over here doesn't think Jasmine Crockett's qualified to do anything. Okay, where's Ted Cruz? Where's the governor? Where's Paxton? Where's all these Texas men? Huh? When are they going to go there and inspect and say, hey, motherfuckers are sick as shit in here. What the fuck? There's diseases running through here. There's rats in here. We should clean this place up. Like none of them can go in there, but she schedules a visit and now you got a problem with her. Interesting.
That was taking place in that facility. And another question I have, are you the one that ordered it to be reopened, because that facility was closed under Joe Biden?
Those facilities were opened with the new administration. I'd have to look
Okay,
and
you're
see
part
if
of the
that
new
was-
administration. Were you the one that ordered it to be open is my question.
I would have to see when it was opened because I wasn't sworn in until 5 days after.
Okay,
the
well, it
president
was
out.
reopened in
So I
March.
would have to look at
It
when
was reopened in March of last year.
Well, then I'm sure that contract would have been renewed while I was secretary.
Speaking of contracts.
So say yes. You know?
As I have actually, you know what? Let me continue on this line of y'all breaking the law. Are you familiar with a child by the name of Liam Ramos?
I am.
All right. So Liam was at this Dilley facility, and it just so happened that we had put in our 7 days notice and y'all had grabbed him 6 days prior to our visit. So we were able to go and visit Liam. Are you aware of the court order that came down that released Liam from custody?
I am.
And are you aware that the judge said the case has its genesis in an ill-conceived and incompetently implemented government pursuit of daily deportation quotas, apparently even if it requires traumatizing children? This court and others regularly send undocumented people to prison and orders them deported, but do so by proper legal procedures. Are you aware of that?
Yes, and I would disagree with the judge on
I'm
several
sure you
points
would,
in
but can you
there.
tell me whether or not
That
you have a law
father-
degree?
Father chose to take.
And that's the same thing with Dum Dum down there. No fucking law degree, but they understand everything. They have infinite understanding with no homework. You know what I mean? They don't have to prove that they know what they know. They only have to just, say it louder and meaner than the next person. And I'm sure some dumbass is going to hop in the chat in about 30 seconds saying something similar. Like, it's hilarious to me. These people would never pass the bar, but they can tell you everything there is to know about Jasmine Crockett. I love it.
But do so by proper legal procedures. Are you aware of that?
Yes, and I would disagree with the judge on several
I'm
points
sure you would,
in
but can you
there.
tell me whether or not
That
you have a law
father-
degree?
Father chose to.
Can you
to
tell
have
me whether or
Liam
not you
be
have a
with
law
him.
degree?
If I have what?
A law degree.
No, I do not have a law
Okay,
degree.
and you do understand, because I can go through a bunch of court cases and orders that I disagree with from the Supreme Court, that ultimately, that is the order of the court. That is what you follow, and if you have an issue, you appeal it up, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. The court went on to say, apparent also is the government's ignorance of an American historical document called the Declaration of Independence. 33-year-old Thomas Jefferson enumerated grievances against a would-be
Fuck Thomas Jefferson.
authoritarian king over his nascent nation. Among others were, He has sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people. He has excited domestic insurrection among us, for quartering large bodies of armed troops among us. He has kept us among, in times of peace, standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. Are you aware that he wrote that? Do you know that he was writing about ICE that falls under you?
The judge?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. With that, I will yield, but I do have two UCs. The first UC is...
Yeah, that's just the articles. I think one of them I even referenced earlier. Fix something real quick. Because I think my capture thing is still running. And I can turn that off right now because there we go. It's off. Gird.
The gentlelady from California is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you,
But
Mr. Chair.
we would be remiss if we didn't bring up Boothang Corey. Corey to the front of the room. Breaking news, Donald Trump has brushed off concerns over any backlash sparked by the U.S.-Israeli military operation against Iran, saying the public is loving it. Loving it. Sheesh. Y'all still think Grandpa has his faculties, huh? All right.
And thank you, Secretary, for joining us. Finally, you
Before they ask him any questions, they should just ask him what year it is and who the president is, just to be sure.
are in charge of protecting the homeland. And so your judgment and the judgment of your senior staff can be the difference between life and death. So I think that judgment would need to be
The
unassailable.
whoops are safe.
Why then, is the question, have you made Corey Lewandowski your de facto chief of staff who possesses an unchecked level of power at DHS? Under your leadership, this person has done things like fire your FEMA administrator while sitting behind your desk, which is your job to do, lobby to build the controversial detention facility.
She's not going to sit behind no desk. She needs to go get her cowboy hat, ride side saddle, and go stand out in front of Mount Rushmore so she can shoot her next ICE video.
Known as Alligator Alcatraz, which has turned into a legal boondoggle costing Florida millions, and have veto. And
It rained because it's Florida. It rained and they had rivers going underneath their little bullshit walls. It was rivers of water running through the middle of the facility. No electricity, no plumbing, nothing. Like they had to send out tanker trucks filled with fresh water so that they could even like flush toilets and have something to drink. Like it was the dumbest idea ever. And I don't know who, got that contract, but I'm sure that'll come out before too long. I don't understand how these people think like such blatant, stupid ideas were actually going to work. Like, I get it. Fine. You want to torture people. You don't even go to a torture spot with fucking electricity and running water. You just literally go out in the middle of nowhere. Like, you're not fooling anybody.
and reviewing and signing power over large DHS contracts and grants, which again is your job. DHS has critical agency components.
If you think motherfuckers like Biden on this channel, you're in the wrong fucking, like, go somewhere else in YouTube. You're in the wrong spot, brother. This is not a pro-Biden channel.
Like the Secret Service, FEMA, Border Patrol, cybersecurity. So does Corey Lewandowski have national security experience, military experience, law enforcement experience? No. He is a lobbyist, a failed campaign manager, which is causing my constituents who are waiting for their FEMA dollars and me to wonder what are his qualifications for this job. So according to the Wall Street Journal, you and Mr. L have a close relationship that has made President Trump, quote, uncomfortable. The president reportedly denounced Corey Lewandowski as your chief of staff due to reports of a romantic relationship between the two of you.
Which is really unfair because this dude is the most unprofessional, you know, sexual harassment dude in the history of, I mean, maybe Bill Clinton's got him beat, but he's also very bad. I mean, Epstein's in the Trump files. And it seems like a real like jab in the eye to get told your relationship is inappropriate by Trump. Like, I don't know if I would take that from him. I'm like, yo, fuck you. Look at you. You all up in them files, man. You can't tell me I can't be with Corey. Like, I would be mad. I would defend myself if it was me. But she can't do that anymore.
So instead, you designated him as a special government employee, a position he has had well beyond the allowed 130 days. And
Oh my God. Yeah. And she bought them fucking jets. Nah, we need them jets. Yo, keep the receipt. I hope she kept the receipt. We putting them bitches back on the shelf. We didn't even fly these, sir. You can have your jets right back.
requires him to disclose if
We
he is
cannot
making
afford it.
money off of his position. Trump
I will fight you.
knows that this guy is shady. Corey has a decades-long record of physical battery, sexual harassment, illegal lobbying for a Venezuelan oil company, and bring
I thought Trump would like him then.
has a
Hold on.
decades-long record of physical battery, sexual harassment, illegal lobbying for a Venezuelan oil company,
Why doesn't Trump like this guy? He should love this fucking guy.
and bringing a loaded gun into a federal building. Despite
If that doesn't have MAGA written all over it, I don't know what does.
being fired or removed from virtually every position he has ever held due to misconduct,
You hear
he now
me?
wields unchecked, unconfirmed, undisclosed power over your department. This person has no experience running anything close to Department of Homeland Security or even advising someone in your position. He is unqualified, which again has
You know, they haven't talked about it for a while, so I wonder what they're actually like doing with it. Because if he was like repairing it or making it ready or whatever the case may be, you know, his little dumbass would be out there with a hard hat on and then like a aviator jacket or aviator sunglasses and a bomber jacket, just like trying to be cool, just walking around like, yep, that's my plane. That's my plane. It goes in the sky. It's very big. Like he would be that guy if they were actually working on it. But I think they're just, you know, I need $1.5 billion to fix the plane. Can I have the money up front? Like, I think that's kind of what's happening.
has left my constituents and I wondering why he is your top official. So Secretary Noem, at any time during your tenure as Director of Department of Homeland Security, have you had sexual relations with Corey Lewandowski?
Mr. Chairman, I am shocked that we're going down and peddling tabloid garbage.
Oh, you didn't say no. Oh, you didn't say no. That was pretty straightforward. You didn't say no.
Mr. Chairman, I am shocked that we're going down and peddling tabloid garbage in this committee today.
Reclaiming
And
my
ma'am,
time.
one thing that I would tell you is that he is a special government employee who works for the White House. There are thousands of them in the federal government.
So reclaiming
and
my
is an
time,
advisor
Secretary, it
and
is
has
okay for
no-
you to be
no
offended
authority
by
to
the
be making
question.
any
It is
decisions,
okay for you to
has
be
no
offended by
authority
the
to be
question.
making
But it is
decisions
also
and
a
putting
real
every
question.
position. So what I would say
And
to
you should be able
She just doesn't shut up. Like, what the hell is she even saying? What the fuck is she? I will, the first date of the DHS was 2003 on the, like, what are you saying? She's like a DHS bot.
There are thousands of them in the federal
So
government.
reclaiming
and
my
is an
time,
advisor
Secretary, it is
and has
okay for
no-
you to be
no
offended
authority
by
to
the
be making
question.
any
It is
decisions.
okay for you.
So as an advisor, it has no authority to make any decisions. That has nothing to do with whether or not you was getting your little button pressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what the question is. Are you sleeping with your subordinate? Not, are you guys allowed to have a relationship? Are these relationships acceptable? Are you stooping the help? That's the question. And if it's yes, that's fine, but you need to fire him. Right? Like, that's how it works. You can't have your the power dynamics all off. And if he's running things for you in return for some vitamin D, then you know, the people are entitled to know that.
to
has
be
no
offended
authority
by the
to
question.
be making
But it is
decisions
also
and
a
putting
real
in positions.
question.
So what I would say
And
to
you should be able to
is
answer
that
the
what we do at the
question
Department of Homeland Security
clearly
every single
and without
day,
any hesitation.
every single day is to protect
If
this
someone
country
is
and to
asking
make
if
decisions.
you or any federal official is sleeping
ha-
with their subordinate, that should
I
be the
have-
easiest. You should be wanting to answer that question.
Is garbage.
Because it is not about
It is
your sex
offensive
life.
that you have brought
It is
that up.
about your
So
judgment.
that kind of garbage
It is
has
about
been refuted
reclaiming
for
my
years,
time so
and
that
you
I
need
can hear
to
myself.
recognize-
Time belongs to the gentlelady from California, but
Oh, Jim Jordan, your arm does work. It only took you, 2 minutes.
it'd be nice if you would let her respond.
I will. I want to let you know, it is about your judgment and decision-making. It is about the 260,000
And you're under oath. So let's hear you lie and say you never slept with him.
employees that
Didn't they? Who was that they just had in politics? I forgot her name. Can't remember. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Everyone said, woo, woo, woo. Woo, woo. Wife's home. Everyone told me she slept her way to the top. She wasn't qualified. Can't think of her name. They said the only way she got to where she was because she slept with some judge. Oh, who was it?
work under you that want to make sure that you are giving information and making decisions clearly. It is about conflict of interest. It is about a national security risk. Department of Homeland Security was created right after 9/11 to protect the homeland. And DHS has circulated an internal bulletin to law enforcement partners warning that the conflict of the war we're in could inspire lone actors or small-scale cyber activity inside the United States, according to a memo obtained by ABC News. So American lives are at risk. The people who work for you are at risk. And they want to know that the person at the top, you, are making decisions clearly, without any sort of cloudiness, and that they're your decisions because you're the secretary who was confirmed. That's what this is about. Saving the lives of Americans and not costing them millions of dollars and not having a secretary who's compromised in her decision-making. And Mr. Chair, before I yield my time.
Okay, she's got a lot of UC's, unanimous consent articles that she wants to do. I'm not sure how you guys get yourselves out of this one. I mean, even Trump has turned his back on
There's
her.
November 27th.
So the question now becomes, for months and months, every time we brought up Krusty the Clown, the Ice Barbie gnome, every time we've brought her up, there have been, 10, 15 people. They show up in the chat and all they want to say is she's great. She's doing a great job. She's so perfect. Okay, then why did Trump fire her? Huh? If she's doing so good, then there should be no reason that Trump should want to get rid of her. Right? Unless y'all have another reason that you'd like to share with the class today, because this is mostly an open conversation. I mean, I'm not sitting up here on some ivory tower reading off my judgments from Olympus. This is not that. I mean, if you know why she's good and Trump fired her simultaneously, I'm interested. Oh, there we go. Here comes the bots. There you go. Always on the vertical too. You notice that? Yeah, we already know that. No, she's fired, dude. She's fired. And this is the thing. They're like, oh, she's still great. That's why she got promoted to this job. She's doing a even bigger job. Look at him. Look, dude, look at you. Look at you. Read, man. Read. We already covered that. That's the title of the thing, bro. You just talking to talk? You just want to say something? Here, I'll put it up for you. You wanted somebody to see what you wrote? There, they saw it. You feel better? You gonna answer the question? She better calm down is what better happen. She threw Flump and Miller under the bus. Good. Because that's what's going to end up happening. That's what's happening. They're all going to start turning on each other.
$20 million.
They always
Senator Schiff,
do.
I want to move on to the use of department resources. Senator Kennedy asked a number of questions about this contract, $220 million. Senator Schiff asked about
She wants an abundance of cheese on those fries there, Tim.
it as well. And I do too. I don't want to
Enhance.
question what the purpose was, but how the award was made. This is $220 million. It was an advertising campaign, as I understand it, that featured you and you on a horse at Mount Rushmore. The contract.
Yeah, yo, that picture cost the American taxpayer like $25 million. Oh my God.
It was a no bid contract. You acknowledge that?
I wasn't involved with this contracting process, so my understanding
Ain't nobody asked you if you was involved. Answer the question.
is
Asking
that
if
there
you're
was
involved.
many
I'm asking
companies
if
that
it's a
competed for
no-bid
this contract.
The answer to that is yes or no.
I don't believe it was. I believe other
All right,
companies
I-
competed
I
for this
have
because
here-
there was two different vendors that were
Secretary,
chosen.
So this is very interesting because she said this for several people now. I think I found the lie logic, the line that she's trying to string all this together with. She thinks as long as there's more than one bid, it's a competitive bid. Right. But that's not what that means. Not in contract law. You know, when you have three people in a room and they all know each other, that's not you going into the open market and finding the best deal for the American people. That's you just inviting people into a room with you and then you guys splitting the money, which is what it sounds like you guys have been up to.
I have here a document from usspending.gov. And this document specifically states the justification for no bid contract that goes to Safe America Media and People Who Think. Those are the two entities that did the campaign, correct?
I believe it is. I wasn't a part of this
All right,
contracting process.
let's get
so-
serious here.
Yes.
Okay. Make the
It says, can I clean it up a little bit? All right, 1080p. A listing of sources, if any, that express in writing an interest in the acquisition. Competition will be limited to the following vendors: Safe America Media and People Who Think. Safe America Media got $143 million in federal funding, and People Who Think got $77 million in federal funding.
the Safe America was incorporated 11 days or 7 days by my count before they got an award of $143 million. You have any dispute with that?
Are you talking about the subcontractor on that contract? Because we
Safe
have,
America.
The Black Bar was the other company, but the other company didn't get selected, so they're not being mentioned publicly. They didn't get picked. They didn't actually get the money. And they're asking about the people who got the money, so they don't want to impugn people who didn't. God damn it, Tim, you get out of here. I do not love mushy peas, and I do not like kimchi. Those are lies. Those are deep state lies from Vic Stricker in the chat.
Senator, I wasn't a part of this decision.
Okay.
We followed the same processes
Madam
that have been
Secretary,
our policies and
I'll
how
go
these
through
are
this
just
and then you
conducted
can answer.
appropriately.
I will
Um,
go through this and then you can answer. I don't want us to be talking over each other.
Here we go. Cool. That's only peanuts. So you're cool with us. You're cool with us prosecuting her, right? I mean, if you're gonna concede that it is fraud, then we do get to prosecute her, correct? And all the and the gentlemen that are running the company, the shell companies. That's what you're saying, right? Right?
Safe America was incorporated 11 days or 7 days by my account before they got a $143 million contract. Now, as a administrator who has fiscal responsibility over a huge budget, do you realistically think that a company that was created 11 days before they got $143
Yes, that's exactly what he said.
million is in a position to execute on a $143
Cortez, what the fuck? You're supposed to be on my team.
million contract?
Senator, I can't speak to their business model. I will tell you that since I've been at the department, I have reviewed over 10,000 contracts. I
let
have
me keep
saved the
going through this.
taxpayers
I don't
over
want to
$13
filibuster. I
billion
want to go through this,
by
Madam Secretary.
renegotiating contracts and being more efficient.
Mr. Chairman,
See, they're more efficient, you see, because there's less people involved. That makes it more efficient. See? Instead of putting it out to all these people where I would have had to, pick blindly, maybe the names of the companies weren't even on the proposal and I would just have to pick based on merit and qualifications. No. I made it more efficient by just picking my friends. Easy.
I don't want the filibuster. All right? And I want my time back.
Ooh. It's my time and I want it now. You've got a structured timing and you need time now.
Denying her a chance to answer. I'm asking you to deny her the abuse to filibuster.
J.G. Wentworth. 877 time now. Is there a cute wife in there? She might be upstairs.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, she got fired, but according to some people, she got promoted. So you know how that goes.
Free of that.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I'll go through this. All right. This is on a U.S. government website that says that contract for $143 million was a no-bid contract. Public documentation says the contract of $143 million went to the Safe America company, created 11 days before they got an award.
Chuck Grassley, shut your old ass up. I can hear him in the background. Shut the fuck up, Chuck. Or mute your goddamn mic. He never has his fucking microphone on when he's actually trying to say something. And now he's got the fucking thing wide open, running his goddamn mouth.
That company then subcontracted with the strategy group, and you are familiar with many of the principles in the strategy group, correct?
I know one of them.
Mr. Yoho.
Yes.
And let me show you a photograph. That's Mr. Yoho standing next to you, correct?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Yoho is also the husband of your former spokesperson. Is that?
Yo, it's her girlfriend's husband. Her girlfriend's husband? Y'all didn't even try to disguise this shit.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Tricia McLaughlin.
Yes.
So your former secretary, your former assistant secretary and her husband are the ones that got the subcontract from Safe America, or from Safe America. That's what the record shows. Any dispute about that?
No, except there was no politicals, myself or anyone else besides career employees who are a part of that process.
Except
for putting out those
Well,
contracts.
That's the problem. Oh my God. Y'all keep telling me she's this brilliant woman. She's confessing to crimes.
No, except there was no politicals, myself or anyone else besides career employees who are a part of that process.
Except
for putting out those
well,
contracts and
that's
choosing those
generous.
vendors.
But what you have,
Yeah, you're right, person in she should just it's mostly corruption, but the Dow. She needs to just have a Dow bomb. Just keep that Dow smoke grenade in your pocket, in your purse. Actually, remember right after she got sent in there and she was in DC and she left her purse. She left her purse somewhere, and then they're like, her purse got stolen, but she just like left it at a restaurant with her passport, $3,000, her wallet, like that whole shit.
Is the Republican operative.
Well, you're trying to insinuate
Dave,
that
I'm not
I
insinuating,
my-
I'm
yes,
stating a
you're-
fact. The fact is.
You're saying that I
Mr.
weighed in on this
Yoho,
contracting
Mis-
process and I did not.
Mr. Chairman. The fact is,
He can't keep up, man. You know she talking too fast for him. Chuck Grassley is too old to be keeping up with these young whippersnappers conversation. Some of these people are 60, 70 years old. How's he supposed to keep up with that?
that Mr. Yoho was married to your assistant secretary, is married, correct?
Yes, they are still married.
All right. And Mr. Yoho also ran an ad campaign for you in your gubernatorial campaign, correct?
Yes.
So he worked for her. Oh my God. Y'all don't know what conflict of interest is in South Dakota?
And he also attended your inauguration.
Yes.
And Mr. Yoho received $8.5 million, or his company did, from the taxpayers of South Dakota when you ran an ad promotion showing you doing various jobs like a plumber and a dentist, correct?
Again, that was done according.
So she just went with the people she had already been used to using and didn't even bother doing the federal like open bid process. She's just like, I'm just gonna not bid. We're just gonna not bid that out. I'm gonna say it's an open bid, but I'm gonna just have my guy from last time do it. That's crazy.
According to the law and processes at the state of South
I
Dakota.
understand, but
Yes,
this
well-
is a,
Oh, Diz, you're great. Well, I'm saying Chuck Grassley couldn't keep up with you. Chuck Grassley is 92 years old, and that may or may not be a lie. Tim will know. Tim, how old is Chuck Grassley?
person that worked on your campaign. This is a person that worked on your media plan in South Dakota when you were governor. And this is a person who also worked on your memoir. Is that correct?
On my memoir?
And he worked with Mr. Lewandowski. Is that correct?
I don't know, sir. I don't know about the business
Mr.
arrangements they've had in the
Lewandowski
past.
is your special advisor.
Special government employee.
Why he air quote her like that? You're getting the screenshot.
Mr. Lewandowski, is that correct?
I don't know, sir. I don't know about the business
Mr.
arrangements they've had in the
Lewandowski
past.
is your
God damn it. Quit closing your eyes so I can get you with your eyes open.
They've had in
Lewandowski
the
is your
past.
There we go. Thank you.
is your special advisor.
Special government employee
Right.
for the White
And
House.
Mr. Lewandowski brought Mr. Yoho into your camp. They had worked on the Louisiana governor's campaign, correct?
No, I knew Ben Yoho before that.
All right. So the person,
No, I knew him way before that. That's why this is not a conflict of interest. Like, she just makes it worse. Man, she's going to do poorly on the stand. She is going to do poorly. She does not know how to answer questions. Volunteering information.
that you knew, Mr. Yoho, the husband of your assistant secretary, is the person in the company that got the
Thank you, Tim.
subcontract 11 days after this original company, Safe America, was founded. That's the record. So I have a question. Did Mr. Lewandowski receive any compensation directly or
There's no way she avoids answering this question. Not possible.
indirectly from Safe America or from the strategy group?
Senator, I don't have any information to that. I can't speak to that.
Would that be of interest
think so.
for you to find out?
Sure.
Well, so
And they're like, nah, man, she didn't get fired. She got promoted. She did good on the stand. What are you talking about? That's so funny.
directly or indirectly from Safe America or from the strategy group?
Senator, I don't have any information to that. I can't speak to that.
Would that be of interest
think so.
for you to find out?
Sure.
Well, so will you ask Mr. Lewandowski, did he get any compensation
Yeah, when you guys are doing pillow talk, can you just ask him about that?
directly or indirectly from these contracts?
Are you asking me to go ask him?
Yes, I am. Ask your special government advisor.
I can do that.
Tez, remember for
And
3
you'll
months.
get back
Get back
first.
to you. Yes,
All right,
absolutely.
we will want that.
She will not be getting back to you, sir. She will not be getting back to you. That's not going to happen. Oh, man. Like, every prosecutor is going to love her as a witness. Every defense attorney is going to hate having her as a witness. They'll probably just have her plead the fifth, if I'm being honest. Because it's just not going to go the way that they're going to want it to go. It's going to go very shittily, very quickly. She reveals more information in her attempt to obfuscate, and that's bad. That's bad. Little stinkers going crazy in there. All right, let me take a couple minutes here. Who's behind her desk? Chris Monica Lewandowski. Lewinsky. Thank you, Cortez. Let me get a
Blah, blah, gay sex, blah, blah, Congress.
well, it's not gay sex, but it's close.
Boring, Huey.
Yeah, and this is all under. That's why people were trying to get her on the record to say things. And instead of, she's like, aha, I didn't step in your trap. No, you just started digging a hole. Like, they're gonna come back and make you defend all that stuff when you, like, she doesn't understand that. She thinks, oh, I just have to survive this round of questioning. No, they're trying to get you on the record to get you to say things so that when you try to lie later to tell the truth or lie later to try to cover it up more, it's just going to be worse. She doesn't get that. I will start you with our favorite paper shufflers on this side of the Mississippi. Got to check on this kid. There we go.
No, Willie, like me, you were really concerned by what happened yesterday in the briefing, Pete Hegseth, when our fallen warriors were brought up, and the Secretary of Defense and the spokesperson for the White House yesterday acted like even mentioning these fallen heroes' names was like a slur against the president. They actually tried to make the death of American troops about Donald Trump. It was one of the most childish. It was just so childish. Proved once again, Pete Hegseth's not, he's nowhere near prepared to be Secretary of Defense. He's emotionally not there. He's not there in every other way. But these are our fallen heroes. And the suggestion that we should be like
tabloids,
like Vladimir Putin, and just ignore when American heroes die in uniform while serving this country. This is not, keep those pictures up of those American heroes. This is not about Donald Trump. This is about these heroes and the families and the friends and the loved ones who mourn them.
Willie, just to Joe's point, in that briefing yesterday, which Jonathan Lemire and I covered, yes, we need to talk about Pete Hegseth and the president. But when the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Dan Kane, took to the podium, it is the first thing he talked about.
Of course.
It is the first thing he talked about. And he talked about grief and gratitude and dedication to this country, which is how you start one of those briefings. And I remember thinking, watching Pete Hegseth, going, how childish is this?
He's a
Is this
child.
language he's using?
Yeah.
And this sort of bro-centric, tough guy, we sunk their battleship. It was pathetic, but also embarrassing.
Well, and General Kane came out and he understands. These are fallen warriors. They have given their life in defending this country. And they're not suckers. We don't believe they're suckers. So only somebody who would believe that they're suckers, like the Atlantic reported, would treat fallen warriors, the mere mention of their names or the fact that they died in service of this country, as something dirty or something aimed at Donald Trump. Not about Donald Trump. It's about their sacrifice, Willie. Something you've been in that community. Something you have seen up close.
Yeah, well, General Kane, as you say, understands. He understands that it's about honor and dignity and gratitude for the lives of those men. Pete Hegseth, on the other hand, views this as a political problem or a PR problem, saying the fake news is just trying to make Donald Trump look bad, making him look bad by putting the names and pictures of fallen American service members on the front page of newspapers or talking about them on shows like this. That was an extraordinary moment from a man in Pete Hegseth who has,
and I'm still waiting for them to say why they're doing this.
Served, presumably gets it, but now is so captured by politics, so captured by his loyalty to Donald Trump that he thinks job one is to be the spokesperson and apologist for Donald Trump and to attack the news media, to attack any critic of Donald Trump. That is not your job as Secretary of Defense. Conduct the war alongside more experienced people, thank goodness, like General Kane, but he views himself as the spokesperson. He's not that different from Caroline Leavitt in the White House press secretary's podium yesterday, where she.
And see, this is the thing, like, it's a crusade. Who openly campaigns for Armageddon? Like, let's say it was real. Why would you want it to happen? And I'm not sure what they're gonna, like, what do you want? Yeah, you wanted to piss them off. Good, you pissed them off. Okay, what's the next plan? Huh? Keep pissing them off. You can't troll them like they're leftists. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the people that you claim to be saving, you keep pissing them off and they're just going to start executing them. And what are you going to do? Blow up the guys blowing up the guys? I mean, use your, like, you didn't even like have it. And what happens when these people flee Iran and they want to come to America as refugees? You guys going to take them in? Because this is the problem. Every time that they try to do regime change somewhere, every time they want to restructure somebody else's country and there's fallout or it doesn't work, and then they say, cool, well, our democracy is broken. Can we have a bucket of yours? And then they're like, get the fuck out of here right now. Get out of here. Don't you come in here. It's like, well, my country doesn't work anymore because you guys blew up and killed up all the leaders. So it's in complete turmoil. You know, like, I mean, Haiti is a perfect example. Haiti was already having issues. They had the earthquake. They had the 2 or 3 hurricanes back to back. Things are rapidly declining into chaos. So what does America do? We go in and we pick up the stand-in president. He says he's going to back out on an American jet, and then he's flown into the center of Africa so that he can't get back to Haiti, and he's just stuck there, right? Haiti devolves due to an obvious power vacuum, and then the gangs take over the whole part of that whole part of the island is taken over by gangs, and everyone was just like, they better look at the Haitians, look how they act. Well, what the fuck do you think would happen if I don't know, if in a small town, like all the cops decided to just take over the small town, right? Like that's That's what they're doing to other countries. So then people leave the small town to go to a different town, a safer town, a town that still has money and jobs and a functioning society. And then that functioning society looks at them and says, you're from a non-functioning society, so you can't come in. And just be ready in, a year or two from now to see more migrant waves coming up the southern border. They're still going to try it, guys. You're not solving the problem. You're just upsetting people. Because if the people that you say are bad are actually bad, then why the hell would those people want to stay there? They would just want to go somewhere else. And where are they going to go? So, hey, if they're up for taking in is Iranian refugees and asylum seekers and all that shit, cool. Get the planes together. But you're going to have a lot more Muslims over here, right? Because you can't blow up their place and then tell them to stay there. So if you blow it up, they're going to come here. Are you ready for them to come here?
He was challenged, guys, on these questions as well, saying, what are you talking about? That we're trying to make the president look bad. We are reporting the deaths of U.S. service members. And President Trump, by the way, has said there will be more, and we will report those too.
Well, and again, we're not Russia. We don't just throw people at the front lines when they die, pretend they didn't die. We honor our fallen heroes, and we think and we pray for the families of Cody and Nicole, Noah, Declan, and Declan, and the other two who gave their service,
the ultimate
and Robert,
sacrifice,
and the ultimate sacrifice to this country. Dana Perino said, I think last night on the 5, she said, hey guys, just stop with your obsession on the media. They're covering this pretty much down the middle.
Yeah.
And let's remember again the fallen, and let's honor them, and let's pray for their families. There's nothing wrong with that, Pete.
Yeah.
Nothing. That's what we have been doing as a country for 250 years. We're not going to stop now because Donald Trump's president. So stop. Act like a man.
Well,
act like a man.
Yeah, I saw this. And this is the other thing is like these strikes are not okay. We took out the we dropped a bomb into the nuclear reactor, into the centrifuge room, underground, and it broke all the machinery. But instead of just doing that, what they'll do is they'll like, okay, so first we targeted this apartment building, that warehouse, and this apartment building. And then also later on, then we did blow up the centrifuges. You know what I mean? Like they're like, well, we had to get the scientist too. And it's like, well, the scientist was at home with his family. So because this guy's a scientist, you've killed everyone in his apartment building. And then everyone in that country is supposed to be grateful to you for, blowing up their own house. Are you guys dense? Like no one's going to be grateful that you saved them from abject terror and death by bombing them. Because what's going to end up happening is you're going to have to put boots on the ground. That's what you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to put boots on the ground, and no one wants to do that anymore. They saw what happened with Saddam in Iraq. They saw what happened in Afghanistan. Doesn't work. It doesn't work. The closest to peace that there was over there, unfortunately, even though he's a war criminal, was fucking Obama. The JPCOA was working. And from testimony from the Omanis, Iran was totally down for capitulating to everything that the Trump administration asked for. They just didn't want to accept the answer. They didn't want them to comply. I don't want you to do this. I just want you gone because Israel said so. Well, good luck selling that to the American people. They're putting up fucking $50,000 drones and you're spending over $1 million plus to blow them up. We ain't got no money, y'all. I don't know if we can afford this. Okay, so they now they're going to voting on agreeing on the resolutions. I think the resolution, oh, this is H Con Res 38. Okay. H Con Res. You can just go to congress.gov and you can literally type in the bills and it'll pull up what they're talking about, like in the moment. What did I spell it wrong? Oh, I put 2 N's. Whoops. It's not the best search engine, but it does okay. Oh my God, it's loading so slow. Hey, wake up. Come on. Come on. Latest action, newest. There we go. Got to do a little sorting. Come on. I'll let them talk for now. Oh, well, they're fucking done too. Damn it. All right, let me find my other one then. She's so weird. I hope she never, she's so weird. I hope she never changes. She is a goofy kid. No, we just need, she talks. We just need her to get her to speak English. That's the hard part. She speaks whatever language she feels like is important to her, which is a mix of Portuguese, French, and Japanese. Let's see here. Keep scrolling. And they come in by the Legion when I go make coffee. That's okay. They're okay. And I'm. It's not that I'm getting empathy for them, but I understand. I think I have a better understanding for why a lot of these people show up in here and start acting an ass. It's because they're worried. You know what I mean? Like they might be legitimately worried about like the path of the country and shit like that. And so they come in here and they're like, I'll beat up on these people on the internet and that'll make me feel better for 10 minutes and I don't have to be scared. But newsflash, jackass, you're still fucked. You know what I mean? Like you're still in trouble. Uh-oh.
This morning, I chaired another COBRA meeting as we continue to coordinate our response.
What is going on with that lady's eyeballs? Can you guys see this? Is it showing up adequately? Her eyeballs are green screening in and out, and she looks like the scariest demon that I have ever seen.
This morning, I chaired another COBRA meeting.
Look at that.
As we continue to coordinate our response to the situation in Iran.
She must have very green eyes.
And the Middle East. I know that people are worried sick about their family and friends who are caught up in this, about the impact on our lives and our economy, and about the potential for even greater escalation. They can hardly believe that yet again, we're seeing missiles and drones falling and civilians in the firing line across the region. So I want to reassure the British public about the action that we're taking. While the region has been plunged into chaos, my focus is providing calm, level-headed leadership in the national interest. That means deploying our military and diplomatic strength to protect our people. And it means having the strength to stand firm by our values and our principles, no matter the pressure to do otherwise. The long-standing British position is that the best way forward for the regime and the world is a negotiated settlement.
Yeah, what the fuck is this? Why do you have someone up there to do BSL and then you put a Chiron right over the top of her? Come on, Forbes, get it together. Put the Chiron on the top. There's literally nothing going on the top of the screen. You could have put it up there.
With Iran.
And then you could have put the date on the bottom. Use your brains, guys.
Where they give up their nuclear ambitions.
Oh, wait, they voted. Hold on. Well, she was talking a second ago. Well, they went back. Okay, never mind. What the hell? I looked down there and the lady was doing a full announcement and then she just disappeared.
Now, that's why I took the decision.
Oh, damn it. Wrong button. Here we go.
Decision was deliberate. It was in the national interest. And I stand by it. But when Iran started attacking countries around the Gulf and the wider region, the situation changed. Iran has now fired drones and missiles at 10 countries that did not attack them. These are allies of the UK, where we have hundreds of thousands of British people, as well as British military personnel. Our number one priority is protecting our people. And that's why, long before the US and Israeli action last weekend, we had already deployed additional military capabilities to the region to defend our interests. And I want to pay tribute to our brilliant armed forces. Throughout January and February, we were moving defensive assets to Cyprus and Qatar. Fighter jets, air defense missiles, advanced radar, and systems to take down drones, to ensure we were in a heightened state of readiness in advance of any conflict beginning. When the strikes began on Saturday, we immediately put those jets into the sky on a mission to protect.
Right, but I get that everyone's gonna like, oh, I'm putting us closer to a war footing, and we're gonna scramble jets and do this. These people are using drones, man. If they send a wave of drones to your airport, they're just gonna blow up all your planes. So sending more planes and shit down there, it just honestly gives you more targets. Like if you're not actively flying in the air, they're a target. And actually, probably in the air, some of these drones are kind of quick. It might catch you on takeoff and land. Like, this is not a good idea, but what do I know?
Our people and our allies in the region. And that is what they have done. Flying over Cyprus and the wider region, shooting down multiple drones, at least one of which was heading towards a base housing British military personnel. Our jets were in the sky again last night, over Jordan, Qatar, and other partners, refueling in the air to prolong their mission. And we're constantly resupplying our jets and our missile stores. And we are responding to requests from allies in the region for further help. I can announce today that we're sending 4 additional Typhoon jets to join our squadron in Qatar, to strengthen our defensive operations in Qatar and across the region. Wildcat helicopters with anti-drone capabilities are arriving in Cyprus tomorrow. The Defense Secretary is on the ground in Cyprus right now, coordinating our work and meeting our brave servicemen and women. We're deploying HMS Dragon to the Mediterranean. And we have allowed the US to use British bases to conduct defensive operations.
Now, this is what he's saying. This is from today. I mean, it's a little bit later over there than it is here over in the States. So this was this morning, I believe, for them. And Trump's still calling him a loser. You know what I mean? Trump is still like, well, he's still a bitch. He still didn't do everything I wanted him to do. So I'm not sure what Keir Starmer's like trying to do, but you should just do the right thing. Like if the UK wants to be back on the world stage and not just be a sock puppet for an orange dictator, you have to stand up to him. That's what Europe's going to do. That's what everyone's going to have to do. You're just going to have to stand up to him because he's not going to listen to you. The only person that stood up to him is fucking Mom Donnie. And who is the only leftist? I won't even say Democrat. Who's the only leftist that Trump listens to is Mom Donnie. You should have stood up to him.
To take out Iranian missiles before they're fired at our people and our allies. We will maintain this shield over British people in the region and our allies. We are working to strengthen it every day. And we're working as fast as possible to get our people out. As of today, over 140,000 individuals in the region have registered their presence, enabling us to get them the information and the support that they need. We have rapid deployment teams on the ground in Oman and Saudi Arabia. And our consular teams are helping hundreds of the most vulnerable individuals. Despite airspace closures, we're working around the clock with airlines, travel companies, and governments to open safe routes home. More than 4,000 people have now arrived back in the United Kingdom on commercial flights from the UAE, including vulnerable Brits identified by our teams. A further 7 flights are due to leave the UAE for the UK today. And I can report that our first charter flight from Oman took off a few minutes ago.
Who's also been bombed, but they just have open airspace.
Lay on additional charter flights in the coming days. British Airways is putting on daily flights from Oman, and we will keep working with all of our partners to increase the speed and capacity of this airlift. I want to be very clear. This is a huge undertaking. It's
Passengers have been affected by flight cancellations since the United States and Israel launched strikes on Iran over the weekend.
I was stranded outside of the country. All flights have been canceled. UAE airspace closed.
The Iranians are targeting the airports to create political pressure as they slow down commerce, they slow down business, they disrupt travel, they disrupt the tourism industry. If this goes on for a month or 5 weeks, that will create economic hardship.
I cover airlines at
Yo, no flights to the Middle East for 5 weeks. And also, I don't know if they're going to talk about it in this. I doubt it. But Iran's also been targeting the desalination plants. And I don't know if you guys are aware of this. It's a desert, so they only have like a week, 10 days of water.
CNBC, and I've been tracking the impact of the Iran war on air travel across the Middle East, including in Dubai, a critical travel hub connecting virtually every part of the world.
The airport has been struck multiple times.
We got 20 minutes from Dubai and turned around because the Iranians were firing missiles at Dubai.
The UAE is Iran's #1 target because of the relationship of the UAE to the United States.
Dubai International Airport is the busiest international travel hub in the world, with 95.2 million people passing through the airport in 2025. Virtually all of the flights in and out of the UAE have been canceled since Saturday.
I just couldn't believe how empty Dubai airport was. The arrivals board was just blank.
Those cancellations have stranded passengers around the world, including vacationers and business travelers with connecting flights.
I mean, what was the plan here, guys? What was the plan? You gotta have had a plan. Diz says Tehran has run out of water already. Like, you're not saving these people. You're just going to get them in. Not
Through
spirit.
major hubs in the Middle East. 138,000 passengers a day connected through Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Doha last year.
I'm getting messages from contacts, from sources, from friends saying we're still stranded, ranging from Australia to all over Asia.
Local authorities gave airlines the green light to start a limited number of flights out of Dubai International Airport earlier this week to help evacuate stranded passengers.
They're going to
Yeah, but who wants to get on that flight to be the first flight to get shot down? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be on that plane.
seat all of that backlog.
You should have got them out of there first, man.
And then that airport, we assume, will remain.
Because if he's going for like the leader or whoever it is, you always know where he is. So you had plenty of time to get everybody out of harm's way before you did any strikes. You could have just moved them people. You could have like let the consulate know, let the embassies know, but hey, for all the Americans, for all the Brits, for all the so-and-sos that you have in the country, send them a message, send them an email or something like that. Let them know that they need to go home for a trip or something. You know what I mean? Just make an excuse to get them out of there. It can be surreptitious. It doesn't have to be loud if you want an element of surprise or whatever you're trying to do. But there's no if you're just literally going to be attacking the leader infrastructure, you could have warned the people that were there that they should leave. You know what I'm saying? You could have warned them.
Closed for the foreseeable future in Dubai. The earlier you take action, the earlier you move, the better off you will be. You have a 90% higher probability of survival if you move out of a conflict zone than if you shelter in place.
Some airports remain open in Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Jordan. Airlines are now forming plans to repatriate thousands of citizens. That's going to include a massive airlift that could include the largest passenger planes in the world and possibly private jets to move as many people as possible. Frequent and vast airspace closures are making that challenging.
In Abu Dhabi, they have put up people who are stranded in hotels and asked those hotels to just extend. The country's actually paid for it, which is just unheard of. So obviously they are sure that everybody is going to be able to get out soon.
The number one advice that we have
or they're stalling
for people that are going to move is you've got to check the visa requirements. Specifically, if you have an event planned for somewhere in the Gulf or somewhere in the Middle East, we are in a wait and see moment. Watch.
It's almost like I can predict the future.
Listen, keep the plans you have. In the interim, call your travel provider, call the airlines, call the hotel, and ask them very clearly, what is my refund policy?
Travel insurance doesn't always cover things like this. So what customers need to know is that they need what's called a cancel anytime policy.
I've asked a lot of people, are you considering leaving Dubai? Many of them have said no. You know, life is too good here. Dubai is not this kind of wasteland of a war zone. That is just completely wrong. Yes, the airport was empty, but I'm still home in my apartment and everything works, and hopefully it will stay that way.
The one word that
hopefully is doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
Describes the environment we are in today, right now, is uncertainty. The conditions on the ground can change like that. You've got to be prepared logistically, children, pets, and feeding and taking care of yourself.
Crazy. All right. I got a Jesse Dollemore video for you guys. Friend of the show, Jesse Dollemore. Link in the chat.
To elect individuals who are progressive, who have a good idea and a good head on their shoulder.
Oh, God damn it. See, they trick me every time because the button says stop sharing. So I I don't want to share this page anymore. I want to use this page. It stops all of them. I just have to close the window.
How to lead, how to combat what is taking place with the Republican Party right now. But Graham Plattner, we're just going to talk about him. Graham Plattner, look, months ago, I supported Graham Plattner's candidacy. I did a video just before it came public that he had a Nazi tattoo on his body, that I didn't know what it was. I'm a history buff, he said in interviews, but also I didn't know what that was. Doesn't make any sense. And that's when I disavowed him. And I don't believe he's a fellow United States Marine. And now we're learning that it wasn't just the Nazi tattoo. He retweeted famous white supremacist, famous Nazi fuck Stu Peters, famous Holocaust denier and praiser and lover of Adolf Hitler.
It's funny. So the original Ben podcast crew. Let me see if I have our logo laying around somewhere. I don't, but this one, and the four of us, we were all part of I Doubt It with Dallamore's Patreon. And then like the once a month they would have like, you know, the Zoom call or whatever. And then the four of us were like, I was like, well, why don't we just meet every week? You know? So then we were meeting every week. And then I was like, well, why don't we just make a show? And that was the Ben.
Graham Plattner retweeted him. Where's that tweet?
Stu Peter says war with Iran is the only thing Republicans and Democrats can both have given a standing ovation for. Let that sink in. As always, there's always one thing that brings Republican and Democrat politicians together: sending other people's children to die in stupid wars in the Middle East.
And not only that, I guess that's just a couple of just oopsies. The Nazi tattoo on the chest was an oopsie. The retweeting of a famous Holocaust denying white supremacist was an oopsie. He deleted this, by the way.
And if you guys can get word to Jesse, he may or may not see this when the copyright tag comes in. Come back on the show, Jesse. Jesse owes us an interview. It's been since 2019. He owes us an interview.
And now he went on a podcast with Valhalla VFT, an anti-Semite, someone who puts videos out like this. Insane fraud.
See, look at and y'all love you clicking on videos with these titles. Stop clicking on shit that looks like this.
Insane Somali fraud.
When someone did a photo shoot for all of their reactions to all of the different things that can come up, stop watching that shit. Make them get creative.
Fraud scheme uncovered by Nick Shirley. Yeah. Snap apocalypse. Snap benefits end. And the looting and robberies begin. None of this is true. AI.
Case says Plattner also protested the Iraq war and then turned around and signed up for it 4 times just for the adventure of it. His own explanation.
AI thumbnails should tell you everything. Don't engage with content that puts fake images forward as though
that's what I said.
That's reality. And then snap ends, looting begins, massive civil unrest erupts as looting begins due to SNAP benefits, blah, blah, blah. What massive civil unrest happened because SNAP benefits ended? It's a lie. It's also, if you look at these thumbnails, we'll put them back up. It's all black people.
Meanwhile, Krusty the Clown is over here taking everything.
Look at the face on this Somali guy. Oh, evil and sinister. The Machiavellian intent of this man. Oh. And that's not even to mention the fact that the YouTube channel is Valhalla, which is Norse mythology, which is co-opted by Nazis, neo-Nazis, and the Nazis back in World War II. So look, I guess it was an accident, the Nazi tattoo, that he hastily got covered up. It was an accident. It was an accident that he retweeted a famous white supremacist Nazi. And it was an accident that he joined this. Actually, it wasn't an accident because he said he was a fan of the show. Long time fan of the show, he said, with this anti-Semite, bigot, conservative, with an America First shirt on as he's interviewing Graham Plattner. Watch this.
We get you back on here in the next week or two.
You went on the dog, Plattner. Come on, Plattner. You can't do this.
I would literally any time. This is a blast.
Oh yeah, man. We were.
And see, this is the problem with like not Graham Plattner. He's Graham Plattner. Gavin Newsom, bringing on Tucker, bringing on Charlie Kirk, or not Tucker. He brought on Charlie Kirk and Nick Fuentes. Like, what are you doing? What are you actually doing? What is the fucking plan here? Do you think that is endearing to you? You endear yourself to other people when you do shit like that? Like, do you think the neo-Nazis are gonna like you? Why would they like you?
We're cooking. We were cooking.
We're cooking. and we also have so much more to cover.
We do. Yeah, we were just getting started.
But I just got the nod. So
you got the nod. No, you're good, brother. Hey, so we will make sure we'll get you back on whenever you want to come on,
Good.
man, for the next couple weeks or a month or so. And we definitely have more to talk about. Thank you so much for coming on, man.
As a longtime fan of the show, it's an absolute pleasure being here.
So look.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Co-opted. What's the fascination with using Tolkien, Palantir, and isn't there an Enderil? I don't know, man. Because these guys are ultimately, they're like nerds. You know what I mean? But they're nerds who like are also bad people. The dark nerds. Sinister. They're like, you know, they're like elves twisted by Melkor.
We got a choice in the primary right now.
Oh my God, they're orcs, dude. Dude, they're orcs. They're orcs. It makes so much sense now. They're orcs.
And Graham Plattner should not be the choice. He just shouldn't. He says things that line up with leftist ideas and progressive ideas about working people and working class folks and class solidarity. But in every turn, he's got bad ideas on race. His old Reddit post coming out that black people don't tip and all kinds of weird racist tropes that he has engaged with.
As a former server, I can tell you, it wasn't black people that was the problem. I'm not going to say who it was.
He has repeated.
But it wasn't black people.
And then the Nazi tattoo, which he denies that he even knew what it was. Yeah, this is Ralph Fiennes, the character from Schindler's List, with the same tattoo, with the same image on his collar, which is a replication of a Nazi uniform.
The Totenkopf is German for death's head or skull, and typically refers to a skull and crossbones image during the Nazi era. Hitler's Schutzstaffel, the SS, adopted one particular Totenkopf image as a symbol. Among other uses, it became the symbol of the SS Totenkopf Verbande, Banda, which is one of the original three branches of the SS, along with the. So it goes on. So this is like their thing.
Form that he just happened to have on his body. And look, there's a lot of people out there that are still supporting Graham Plattner. The crooked media guys have had this guy on multiple times defending him. There are many others, people I respect, who are still behind Graham Plattner. What bridge is too far? What other associations with Nazi fucks are we going to explain away? If Donald Trump or some other conservative had a Nazi tattoo, we would call it what it is.
Oh yeah,
white supremacy. If someone
I mean, look at fucking Hegseth. Hegseth has that big fucking is it the Jerusalem cross? It's a something cross. Templar cross. I forget what it's called. But he's got that shit on his right pectoral. And then the first thing he did when he got in as Secretary of Defense was to say, you know what? Dixie flags, swastikas, Totenkopfs, all good. No reason for us to look at you with any kind of criticism. You just do your thing, boo-boo. You just do your thing. Yeah, Templar cross. Yeah. And I don't know if it's probably still in. That was hundreds of messages ago. But like the first fucking troll that came in here, let me see if I can find it. Oh, what time is this from? Oh, maybe it's in here. Maybe not. But one of the first guys that popped in here that was a troll had the Templar cross on his thing. Some weird ass warrior looking dude with a fucking Templar cross. Like they're part of this. You know what I mean? Like they think for real that this is going to. Oh, it is letting me go back. Good. There's Greg. I think it was right before Greg. I'll keep scrolling while Jesse's talking, but yeah, Like, these people are crazy.
Tweeted as an attaboy, Stu Peters from a Republican, from the Republican side, we would say, this is Nazi shit. This is no way, can't have it. But when Graham Plattner does it, people make excuses. When Graham Plattner goes on a white supremacist show, Valhalla, and tells him, oh, big fan of your work. If a Republican did that, we'd say, oh, this is Nazi shit. This is white supremacy. This is the white power movement in action. But because he claims to be a progressive, because he claims to have leftist ideas, everybody just looks the other way. I don't play team politics. White supremacy is a bridge too far for me. Right away, no thank you. I will not engage. I will not be a part. I will not.
See? And here come the little stands. You know what I'm saying? Here come the little stands. If you don't know what the cross is for and what it means, that's kind of not my problem, right? That's kind of a you problem. Look up what it means and look up who uses it. And then you get back to me. But I'm not paid to do your fucking homework. I'm actually paid to piss you off. So
not forward the candidacy of someone who may or may not be actually racist, but
sure.
certainly cozy enough to sit.
Are you talking about fuck? Are you talking about the fuck word? Which F word? Because fuck is fine.
Down on a podcast of one and talk about how he's a big fan. Come bring me back on anytime, brother. Anytime, brother. And look, he's coded. He's coded as military. He's coded as masculine. He's coded as a man's man with that voice. But he's a liar. Graham Plattner's a liar. You don't get to label yourself a history buff and then
Chris, you're 100% right. And then they'll be the first ones that be talking about, I was just following orders. Yeah, that shit doesn't fly here in America. We don't have that law. So we'll just, you're just going to get prosecuted.
And be completely ignorant of history, and such history that it's in popular culture, in Oscar-winning movies. In this era, you don't get that. It's too risky to put another John Fetterman in office, except this time someone as sinister as having Nazi associations. If you're in Maine, you got a choice. Are you going to continue to if you're a Graham Plattner fan up to this point, are you going to continue to make excuses for this? And then ask yourself, what Nazi association would be too much for you relative to Graham Plattner?
Maybe I'm just some raging liberal, but didn't fucking Elon Sig Heil on the inauguration stage? I'm pretty sure that happened. And then I think Megyn Kelly did it, and then Steve Bannon did it. And they were all just like, oh, it's fine. It's not a big deal. It's totally normal to just, Sig Heil. That's what they were up to. This dude just has the tattoo and he says he's completely reformed. And most of the motherfuckers on the... Oh, is he coming in yet? Oh, interesting. Interesting. But most of us are enraged by what he's been up to and his associations and his behavior. Hegseth, rock the tattoo, no one gives a shit. Elon fucking Sig Heils, no one gives a shit. Steve Biden, Sig Heils, no one gives a shit. And who's the bald Israeli guy that's just standing around looking intimidating? Why does he have Israeli security forces? And I say he's Israeli because he's wearing a yarmulke. This guy over here, this guy with the yellow tie. I don't know. Yeah, you can kind of see it there, but you could see it better when they pop the door open for a second. Why is he here? And if he is here, he needs to have a name tag on and needs to be up at the lectern. But if you're from another country, you shouldn't be walking around with the fucking Secretary of Defense. Just saying. Seems like a security risk.
Well, good afternoon. I'm honored to stand.
Wait, is this the guy who told me I was a beta and then he's leaving the heart emojis in the chat? All right, buddy. All right, buddy. You keep being tough over there. You keep on being tough.
Right here today alongside one of America's finest, Admiral Brad Cooper, commander of U.S. Central Command. We just had a chance to spend a couple of hours together, better part of 2 hours, going through the entirety of this.
And I'm sorry, I got to stop real quick. And this will probably be the last one. Maybe. I'm lying, maybe. I have an issue with the Secretary of Defense constantly using the fucking American flag as a fucking handkerchief. Like, I'm not super patriotic, especially these days, but I did fucking go through ROTC all 4 years of high school. And I had to fucking go out there in the snow and in the rain, and I had to do colors. And it is fucking disgusting to me that he keeps using. And you guys can fucking make the pocket square excuse all you goddamn want. But there is a reason why the American flag is not supposed to be hewn into articles of clothing. There is a reason for that. And to just blow your nose, you know, with the fucking flag, and then as the fucking Secretary of Defense is just so fucking, and I think that the lining of his coats, of his blazers, I've seen a few of them, the lining of his blazers is so the American flag means so much to you that Colin Kaepernick had to be blackballed, and then you can put your armpit sweat all over it. And in every fucking Super Bowl, you guys you make the biggest flag that there's ever been, bigger than the one last year, and then you drag it all over the fucking grass. Like, the disrespect for the colors is crazy. Crazy.
This Operation Epic Fury. And Admiral, I want to thank you for everything you do and your incredible leadership, for your dynamic thinking, the way you're attacking this problem set on every level. In just days of
in previous administrations, we did the planning before we started blowing shit up.
Operation Epic Fury, you and your team have delivered nothing short of devastating, precise strikes, taking out the better part of Iran's navy, making it combat ineffective, neutralizing missile sites and launchers, and establishing total dominance.
I mean, you can say it's the Secretary of War, but I don't think he has the power to change the name of the department. I think that's a Congress job.
Over the skies we fly over and seas we fly over. Our forces are executing with unmatched skill, and the mission is advancing decisively. This is the kind of no-nonsense, results-driven warfighting that America demands. And you're delivering it in spades. You are the man for this moment. Admiral Cooper, on behalf
why don't we just make Star Spangled toilet paper, or how about Q-tips? Can we get some red, white, and blue Q-tips, you know, so we can really show our patriotism and just like rub earwax all over the flag? Like, these guys are so fucking unpatriotic. And to be and I'm not calling it the Department of War because that's stupid. It is baffling to me that these guys have literally no fucking respect for the military, and they and they're in the highest positions in the military. Good luck, boys.
The President, the Department of War, and every American watching, I want to thank you for the outstanding job you and CENTCOM are doing. Keep pressing the fight, and we are with you all the way. A few thoughts before I hand it over to the Admiral for an update. Iran is hoping that we cannot sustain this, which is a really bad miscalculation for the IRGC in Iran.
That's not what they're saying. They don't care. They knew you were going to do this, and they're just ready to fight. Like, I don't know what he's talking about.
You see, there's no shortage of American will here. We remember and honor our fallen, those 6 that we will soon welcome at Dover, who gave everything for their country in this mission. We remember them. But we remember them by rededicating.
Derek says, got it in person. I was just seeing if there was anyone here traveling east for enlightenment like I am. The path is within, brother.
Ourselves even more fervently to this mission. Our commitment to our mission objectives only increases as our advantages continue to increase.
Wait, that was double speak. What?
Our commitment to our mission objectives only increases as our advantages continue to increase.
He thought that was really good on paper, huh?
We've got no shortage of munitions. Our stockpiles of defensive and offensive
That-
weapons
That's not true.
allow us to sustain this campaign as long as we need to.
Bro, if they're doing $50,000 drones and we're doing $1.2 million Patriots to intercept every time, we do not have unlimited money. What the fuck is he talking about? They could have hundreds of thousands of drones. They have oil money. We do not have money for that many Patriots.
Again,
he needs to calm
our
down.
munition status only increases as our advantage increases. Our capabilities, we have only just begun to fight and fight decisively. Having a chance to hear from Admiral Cooper. If you think you've seen something, just wait. The amount of combat power that's still flowing, that's still coming, that we'll be able to project over Iran is a multiples of what it currently is right now when you add up.
And again, he said that we were just doing this so that they couldn't get us before we got them or we got. That's not what it sounds like. Again, there is no structure here. They are all telling different lies at the same time. And then anytime you say that, oh, well, so-and-so said this, he's like, well, I didn't say that. Well, Marco Rubio said this. Well, I didn't say that. Well, President Trump said this. Well, I didn't say that. So who are we supposed to be listening to if all of you are saying different things? Trump says regime change. He says this isn't regime change. This is just good old-fashioned war. Rubio says no regime change, no war. What is going on?
Our capabilities and those of the Israeli Defense Forces. And we have no shortage of authorities. The Admiral knows we have clear objectives with maximum authorities on the battlefield.
Right.
The dumb, politically correct wars of the past were the opposite of what we're doing here. They had vague objectives with restrictive, minimalist rules of engagement. No more. Our authorities, his authorities, CENTCOM's authorities through the president and myself are maxed out. Our capabilities are overwhelming and gathering still, as are those of our Israeli partners. Our munitions are full up, and our will is ironclad.
Again, if you're not putting boots on the ground, you just plan on blowing up the whole country. That does not help the Iranian people.
Which means our timeline is ours and ours alone to control. As long as it takes to ensure the United States of America achieves these objectives. And as we flow more forces, and as we flow more capabilities, and as our munitions, as we're flying over the top, have even more devastating effects, we set the tempo, we set the timeline, led by the commander on the ground. Our ear is to the ground to listen to Admiral Cooper, what he needs, and what he needs, he will get. We are built for this fight.
I think it was 3 that got shot down by Kuwait in friendly fire.
And we are in it to win it. And we have the right commander in the lead. So I'll now hand it over to Admiral Brad Cooper to give you an update right here from CENTCOM. Admiral.
Mr. Secretary, first, thank you very much and good afternoon and welcome to U.S. Central Command Headquarters, America's Warfighting Headquarters. It's great
Not
to be
anymore.
here alongside the Secretary and representing them with.
Like, that's the other thing. It's like they just don't give a shit about us at all. The taxpayer is not considered at all in any of this. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Everyone's talking about how expensive everything is, and they're burning through money like you have like it's insane. DHS going through like ICE being part of DHS getting almost $1 billion. And Krusty the Clown is over here giving 200 million of it to her friends for advertising. I don't know where they think this money is coming from. We don't have all this shit that they're talking about.
50,000 men and women in uniform currently executing Operation.
When Trump had his little birthday parade, because he's a fabulous queen, when he had his birthday parade, they were pissed because they were blowing through their fucking what's it called, budgets, their maintenance and like utilities and equipment budgets. because he wanted every single tank that went out there. They wanted them all repainted. So they went out there and repainted all of them shits, and now they're just like, okay, we repainted all the tanks. All right, gas up the jets. We're gonna go over to Iran now. It's like, what are we doing? We don't have all this money for shit.
Epic fury. So, Mr. Secretary, first, thank you very much for your leadership and support and the very clear vision and objectives that you've given us to allow us to use overwhelming force against the Iranian terrorist regime. And thanks to all of you for attending today, and welcome to Tampa. We are now starting our 6th day of a historic mission to eliminate Iran's ability to threaten Americans.
Yo, whoever's chat GPT in this, they can do like turn down the slider bar for adjectives. Historic mission. Everything's historic because everything is recorded, dumbass.
We are, if I could channel my inner Navy officer, we are at full speed ahead in executing orders given by leadership in Washington. The President and Secretary Hegseth have been crystal clear in their expectations.
Yeah. I mean, if we took 10% of the fucking shit we give to DOD, we could fucking afford this shit. You know what I mean? But instead, everyone's like, oh, let's back is itching. Let's just waste $950,000 per intercepted missile. We can do this for months. Who the fuck told you that? Excuse me. Honestly, even if they were doing all this competently and efficiently, it'd still be imperious and evil. And they're doing all this because given USCN's healthcare, it'd still be imperious. Right. No, I'm saying if they just didn't give the money to them and they just, you know what I mean? They keep complaining about not having enough money. And why should I have to pay for all this stuff? Well, why do I have to pay for all these missiles? Hello.
And we are at a high level of execution. As described by the Secretary and earlier this week by me, U.S. combat power is building as Iranian combat power declines. Our air dominance allows us to hit.
Are you going to vote for me? That's all I need to know. Hey, me and Tim are going to launch a campaign here pretty soon. Instead of presidents, we're just going to be rulers of Earth. And our campaign slogan is Earth for the Earthlings. And you just let me know which state or country you're from, and you can just apply to be their delegate. No, they're fine. No, they're good. Scott, they're good. Put me in charge. For sure, put me in charge. Me and Tim as rulers of Earth will do good things for all people.
Iran's center of gravity with overwhelming power and
Here's a better question for you. What do you want done that isn't being done?
reach. A couple of examples. In just the last 72 hours, America's bomber force has struck nearly 200 targets deep inside of Iran, including around Tehran. And in just the last hour, U.S. B-2 bombers dropped dozens of 2,000-pound penetrator bombs targeting deeply buried ballistic missile launchers. Notably, we've also struck Iran's equivalent of Space Command, which degrades their ability to threaten Americans.
Damn it.
Then if I just look back over the last 24 hours of the operation compared to where we were at start, ballistic missile attacks have decreased by 90% since day one. Drone attacks have decreased by 83% since day one. Having said this, we remain vigilant. Our strikes against the Iranian Navy have intensified. You may have heard the president say just a little while ago that we have sunk or destroyed 24 ships. That was true at the moment. We're now up over 30 ships. And in just the last few hours, we hit an Iranian drone carrier ship, roughly the size of a World War II aircraft carrier. And as we speak, it's on fire.
Later.
The president gave us another task: to raise or level Iran's ballistic missile industrial base. So we're not just hitting what they have, we're destroying their ability to rebuild. And so as we transition to the next phase of this operation, we will systemically dismantle Iran's missile production capability for the future.
2 British pounds from Viper Scott. 1, a wee bit of for the campaigning, Mikey, fee the UK. Look, I have good plans, excellent plans for the UK. I'm going to have you guys be an entire nation of storytellers because everybody likes your accent.
And that's absolutely in progress. This is going to take some time, but our
I will put New Hollywood in Wales.
forces are well supplied, as the Secretary said, and we are absolutely ready to prosecute this.
See, and this is the thing that I see, you're not answering what I asked you. And that's why I asked it in a very specific manner. WMN. These guys may not be perfect, but they're way better than the people they replaced. You can't that explanation only works for you here in America. For the parents of the people whose kids got blown up in that little girls' school, they don't agree with you because I mean, just like when they got rid of Saddam or they got rid of Pol Pot, they get rid of all these, you're always going to have people that say, well, before you came in here and liberated us, at least the trains ran on time. But it's gotten to the point now where they are doing unprovoked attacks on civilians, and you're saying that's better than the people they replace. I don't remember the previous administration doing that. And you got to stop having this America-centric, like this America-focused view on things. It was described as Hezbollah infrastructure in Daiha neighborhood, a densely populated commercial area. Yeah. Stop. They're going after Lebanon again. Because that's what you got, like, that's what you guys are not understanding here. You're saying things that you want to be true, but it's not congruent with the reality that we find ourselves in. You can want whatever you want, right? But if you want something to happen, then you need to base it in reality. These nations are not going to just disappear because they're attacked. You know what I'm saying? These people are not going to disappear because you don't want them to be there anymore. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not how it works. In Syria, well, I think after the Assad regime fell, they released all these people. There was 60,000 children and children that had grown up and that had been stuck in a camp since 2006 or 8. They've been there for a while. It's been 10 years plus. 60,000 people out in a fucking prison camp out in the desert. Just stuck there. So we did not have a plan for what should happen with the husbands and children, or the wives and children of ISIS members. So we just stuck them in a camp out in the desert, and they just been sitting there festering. Like if you do not have this sorted through all the way, it is going to fail. And you're not going to get what you want. They're not going to get what they want. And I mean, who's in charge of Afghanistan right now? Is it the American trained forces? You know what I mean? I mean, Al Qaeda, the leader, one of the leaders of Al Qaeda is the guy who toppled Assad in Syria. Like, I don't understand why you think that this is going to help the already bad situation. This is literally gasoline onto the fire and making fucking Khamenei a fucking martyr. What are you talking about, dude? Trump said he was leaving, so fucking Biden had to pull him out. Like, come on, man. Come on. I thought you were more up to date than that.
This mission decisively. Our combined joint forces have relentlessly destroyed Iran's air defenses over the past few days, and they've continued hunting for more systems to kill. Our air defenders are operating at the very top of their game. I couldn't be prouder.
No one said anything about sitting back and doing nothing, but blowing up an entire country, or starting the process of blowing up an entire country to remove somebody who's 87 years old. And especially when, like, they're capitulating to all of your inspections and all of the terms. Like, did you even know that they capitulated to the terms and they said, fuck you anyway? Like, dude, you got to read what's actually going on right now, as opposed to just what you think, you know, ideologically should happen. Like, reality is not responsible for keeping up with your ideals.
Shoulder to shoulder with our partners in the region, in many cases, providing the most integrated air defense network in Middle East history. We are fighting to win. Through combined U.S. and Israeli combat power, we will continue decimating Iran's ability to project power outside its borders. And if I can just conclude by saying a strong salute to the brave men and women who are out on the pointy edge of this, really doing exceptional work. I just couldn't be prouder, and I know the American people sharing that same pride. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. And with that, we'll take a few questions. Yeah, right here.
Sir, appreciate it. Admiral, I wanted to ask, or Mr. Secretary, the Ukrainian
And I also hate how they stopped putting mics in the press pool.
president said today that the U.S. has asked for specific capabilities to deal with shadow drones, long drones. And you guys talked about what you asked for, and has there been any surprise? Any surprises from?
See you later, pup. Yeah, take a break.
Go ahead. We're very familiar with Iranian's capabilities, and as you might imagine, we planned for it right from the outset, and I feel good about what the plan was. Like any good,
and this is you've swallowed the hook, my friend. This isn't the U.S. versus Iran. This is the world versus Iran. Iran picked a fight with a dozen countries. Iran already told everybody, if we get attacked, we're blowing up we're going to attack every single U.S. property in your country. Now, the question you need to ask yourself is, why does the U.S. have a base in all these countries?
Organization, we adjust as necessary to meet the environment, and we've made those appropriate adjustments.
Viper Sky reminds us, USA helped the Taliban fight the Russians, but failed to help Afghanistan rebuild, so the Taliban took it over. Maybe they should not have done that. That's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta study the history of the region to see how to solve the problem. But if you're just gonna guess at shit and just be like, well, I think this should happen, well, then I'm gonna tell you it's an uninformed guess, and it doesn't make any damn sense.
Right here.
One, was an American pilot shot down today in Iraq? And two, I've heard reports that there's enriched uranium stored in Isfahan. I've also heard reports that there's not a lot of bombing there. Is that on purpose?
And what happens if they would have said no?
Do we believe there's enriched uranium there? And would we ever send special forces to secure it?
As CENTCOM.
Jay Barron says, this is a reason why you shouldn't vote for either side. When you vote, you're getting exactly this. First, Trump said no more wars, and look what he's doing. Like, it's not even a left side, right side thing. Like, this is mostly financial, right? This is mostly dark money and the war industrial complex filling its coffers. It's been a while, U.S. hasn't done anything in a long time, so them burning through all these rockets is a perfect excuse for the next administration, whether it be Democratic or Republican, to be like, you know what, we sure did deplete a lot. We're going to have to order some more rockets. Man, we sure used a lot of rockets. Now we're going to have to purchase new ones. That's what this is.
I pointed out that those reports of an F-15 being shot down are false. As you can imagine, Iran is doing everything it can to peddle in lies, deception, and inflation of numbers and reality, mostly to propagandize to their own people, right? They've shut down the internet. They're hoping they can.
So if they shut down the internet, how are they propagandizing their own people if no one can read what they're saying? Which is it?
Convince their own population that they're having success. One thing one of their leaders said recently is that 500 Americans have been killed, they claim. These are lies. The lies will continue. CENTCOM will continue to debunk those lies. So, and as often is the case in conflict, first reports are often wrong. As it pertains to nuclear material and things like that, one of the objectives the president has always said is that Iran will not have a nuclear bomb, nuclear capabilities, but we would never disclose what we will or will not do inside operational plans. So Admiral Cooper's got a plan.
Right. Like I said earlier, it's $50,000 for one of these kamikaze drones. And then we're using a Patriot interceptor, which is like $1.5 million or $1.25 million. Like, that's not a good trade-off. they will bleed us dry if we just keep fucking, you know. And is there a drone, air-to-air drone that can keep up with their drones? I don't know. And sometimes it takes multiple interceptor rockets to get one drone. So I don't know if we're going to be able to stop
We're
these.
working that plan, and targets will be struck or not struck according to what we want to achieve. Yeah, right there.
Secretary Hegseth, the president said earlier today in an interview that he would like to have a say in who's the next leader of Iran. Is this an expansion of your military objectives? Do you view it that way? And additionally, you spoke earlier today about how previous leaders have drawn resources from our hemisphere to the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
How do you avoid that?
Well, there's no expansion. Ultimately, I think the president's having a heck of a say in who runs Iran, given the ongoing operation we have. So there's no expansion.
There's no one to have conversations with. You blew them up.
In our objectives, we know exactly what we're trying to achieve. I think today's a great example of what this War Department is capable of doing. I was just in another part of Florida today where we announced, America's counter cartel conference. 18 countries coming together from Central, South America, and the Caribbean coming together to fight cartels. That is something that is ongoing. We're focused there. We're focused in the Indo-Pacific. We can mass combat power in CENTCOM. UCOM is able to support that as well. So we know we're laser focused on our hemisphere and our homeland. That's why we locked down the border. That's why we're working with partners to take on cartels. That's why we're sinking drug boats. That's why we're on the offense there. But the beautiful things about combatant commands is that, Brad Cooper's laser focused on Central Command, just like Frank Donovan is laser focused on Southern Command. We can do both. That's what a global power can do. Ultimately, this issue.
And see, one of the things that was the reasons that we even have the DHS in the first place was that we have all these different agencies and shit like that, and then they don't communicate. So by him kind of posturing that, oh, well, you're going to take care of this, so just focus on this, and you focus on that, and you focus on that, then you're going to have people with competing demands. And they're like, well, I need the aircraft carrier. No, I need the aircraft carrier. Well, I'm using it until Wednesday. Well, I need it this Tuesday. And he doesn't understand the structure that has been put in place. He thinks the whole structure is just bureaucratic and woke and shit like that. But there's a reason we do all this shit. There's a reason we have JAG officers. There's a reason why we, run things through Congress before we just start doing them. Because again, there is only one person in this administration that has immunity. Only one.
Of Iran's nuclear pursuit and their unwillingness through negotiations to stop it was something President Trump has said for a long time needs to be dealt with. And after 47 years, he's doing something that no other president was willing to do. And we're doing it overwhelmingly, and we're doing it decisively, while also in other parts of the globe having the desired effect. And take, for example.
And see this, my first girlfriend was president. I'm glad to see that women are finally able to let their hair hang down. I know that makes you feel better, but number one, that may not be true. And number two, this isn't the way to do that. You know what I mean? If we want other countries to have the same kind of societal enlightenment, like we assume that we have, and they should get to the level of society that we're at. This doesn't help them do that. Right? He's dead. So we're done, right? No, it's more, you know what I mean? If it was just a decapitation strike and they were going to put in new people and then this and this and this is going to happen. Okay, then we can have a different argument. I disagree with that too, but it's a different argument that we would be having. At this point, it's just, I have a bunch of bombs and I'm just going to start lobbing them at people. And now that the barrier's been broken, once the first missile drops and then they retaliated. So now it's game on. It's well, you can't preemptively strike somebody, they retaliate, and then you say, aha, they have declared war upon us by defending themselves. Again, I'm not on the Iranian regime side. I'm saying how this looks to everywhere else in the fucking world. It looks like we're just going around abusing people because we feel like being bullies with our best friend Israel. Even if that's not the case, that's how it appears to everybody else. So if everyone thinks that we're going to get call in Article 5 of NATO, the NATO alliance, and then just get everybody in here to help us, That is not going to be happening, dude. It's not going to be Iran versus the world. It's going to be the United States and Israel versus the world, because people are going to look at us as problematic, as warmongers, and as shit stirrers, and not worth the trouble. Especially since, why the fuck would anybody send us troops when troops and bombs and munitions and all that shit, when Trump is fucking just putting tariffs on people whenever he feels like it? You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna fucking bankrupt your country, or Cuba. Like, what if Cuba wanted to help us? Why would they help us? You know what I mean? Like, why would they do that?
What we displayed yesterday, the Iranian ship in the Indian Ocean, sunk by Indo-PACOM, another combatant command, who coordinated with us in order to make that happen. So America's reach is global.
And like, the glee that he's feeling about this kind of like lets me know that he's not mature enough for this position, and he thinks of every death as like a +1, like he's playing Call of Duty or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, he really thinks that the more death that happens, the better the situation is. I mean, we literally did this for 20 years, but he was too busy, you know, getting fucking hammered, sleeping with the nanny, and committing felonies. And then like the fact that he had to promise not to drink anymore to even get the job should let you know everything about this guy's level of professionalism and seriousness. Like, these are very serious topics. Like, I'm very hesitant to even talk about war on the show, because we don't do just, you know, like passing bumper sticker kind of clickbait remarks. Like, no, we're going to look into and talk about and look at the historical background for all this stuff, because it's important. Like, you have to look at things through an appropriate lens, or else you can be easily deceived. And I get that people really loved the vigor that everybody chanted for like the death of like Al-Qaeda and the Taliban and stuff like that. Like, I was there, you know, I was here for all of that. And I understand that initial terror strike of 9/11 galvanized the American people and made them easier. It made them more quote unquote patriotic, but it also made them a lot easier to control. Like, in 1980, if I fucking told a businessman, you got to take your shoes off at the airport before you get on this plane, he would promptly tell me to fuck myself and then fly with another group of people. But since that terror attack, we've had the Patriot Act is still ongoing, which means all your personal data and everything is up for grabs. You have no more Fourth Amendment. The military industrial complex has had almost $1 billion budget every year. The Pentagon has never passed an audit. Like, this is pretty apparent, guys. Like, you should be able to see what's happening at this point. I shouldn't have to like break it down to too many levels, so that when this happens and Israel asks us to do something, and then Trump just gives the nod, and this motherfucker is the guy in charge, this is why we have such a disproportionate response to something like this. You know what I mean? Because if Israel would have attacked that deep into Iran, they would have been worried about their places getting bombed. But because we helped them, now it's our places that are getting bombed, and those places are in friendly neighboring countries for Iran. They don't give a shit. They said, get the Americans the fuck out of there. Get the Israelis and the Americans the fuck out of it. That's their goal. I know what I know what Hegseth's goal is. His goal is to like have as much fun as possible. But the Americans and the Israelis have been and have always been, for Israel, as long as it's probably been around, an existential threat for those people. So when we're dealing with them in diplomatic ways, which I think is the best way to solve all of this shit, they're not afraid of us in the way that he wants them to be. You know what I mean? Threatening to hurt them isn't going to scare them. They're already, they're generations into being threatened by us and not knowing when, a B-2 is going to come over the horizon and that's it for them. Like, they've been living in that for like their entire lives. So it's not this isn't the way to do what they're trying to do.
Global. Our focus here, though, these missions are narrow, they're scoped, And Admiral Cooper is well on his way to ensuring that we reach those objectives. Right here, yes, sir.
You know, Howard, both condolences the troops killed. Do the Ukrainians are talking about providing low-cost interceptors, given their experience? Is that something that the Pentagon is looking for? And Admiral Cooper, can you walk us through a little bit about the how effective?
So if Iran threatened to attack our bases, then it's our fault. I guess that means the Ukraine war is Ukraine's fault because Russia told them not to join NATO. Not what I'm saying, and I think you missed the point. Hey, Brenna. I just played a Jesse video earlier and told our origin story. But you're missing it. You're missing it. Iran is allowed to threaten people just like we're allowed to threaten people. Threatening people, like, the words are not the problem, right? So let's get that out of the way first. It's not about the words, about them threatening us. It's the actions. And because Israel said that it had to make this action, it had to do this, and we had to ride with them because they were like, they're going to attack your bases if we attack them. So just a heads up, they're going to be attacking your bases. Like, it's not us that's instigating this. It's us that's continuing this. You know what I'm saying? We are aiding and abetting, and that's unnecessary. If Israel wants to fucking go in there and fucking fist fight it out with Iran, they've been talking about fucking taking each other out for decades, for my entire life, even before my adult life. They have been saying that they're going to destroy each other. If they want to fight, fight. Leave the children and the women out of it. Fucking get your tanks, go out in the Sinai and have a good time, right? But that's not what they want to do. They want to drag everybody else in. They want to get everybody else involved. They got all these Gulf states are involved now. We're involved now. All the shit. This has nothing to do with you, me, Hegseth, any of this shit. And I hear what you're saying, where we don't want to enable bullies. It's not about, and we don't want to enable the bullies. But the sanctions and the JCPOA, sometimes you got to take a win for a fucking win. You know what I mean? And for him and for Trump to just walk in day uno and just tear that shit up and wipe his ass with it. It's like, dude, if we have so few steps in the right direction, tearing up the only agreements that we fucking have is not a good idea, because it just puts us back into this space. And since we're in this space and there is no more, and I think our nuclear deal with Russia expired too. But when you just shit talk and you want to bloviate and you want to just like be aggressive and I'm everybody in everyone's face. Okay, imagine if you're a small country like Cyprus. Why would America help them? Now we're getting attacked. You know what I mean? Like, everyone else sees it like it's two bullies fighting, not one bully. They don't see us as the handsome liberators, you know, here to spread democracy and cheeseburgers and shit. Like, they don't see us that way. Americans don't get that because they only watch American media and they don't have any friends from the region or anything like that. And they just think that everything that we do is like Saving Private Ryan. The other countries don't feel that way, right? And if we're talking about handling things without war or handling things before they escalate to war, this doesn't get us there. Hegseth having a fucking infidel tattoo in Arabic is not helping. Him with the Crusader cross, that's what it was called, the Crusader cross. Him having that on his chest doesn't help. Like, okay, let's say we wanted to send fucking Hegseth over there to talk peace. I hope he keeps his fucking sleeves up and they don't go swimming or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be in this position and be so adversarial towards everybody and then be surprised. Oh, well, we just had to start kicking ass and taking names. Am I right? And it's like, what are you talking about, dude? School children are dead. Service people are dead. People are trapped in countries because the airspace is closed. And he just thinks that this is like another episode of like The Wire or The Shield or Breaking Bad or something. You know what I mean? He's just like, oh, wait till next time and I do this. And then I'll do it. Like, this is not fucking pretend, brother. Every American is at risk right now. He does not give a fuck about that. He has not considered that at all. All the Americans that live in Dubai, all the visitors to Doha and the UAE and shit like that, like, you didn't even bring them home first. He's just doing shit.
So the Lucas drones have been, what kind of targets we've hit, and how much that's helped, given that they're low-cost alternatives that are more expensive.
I just saw this.
Go ahead.
Sure. I'm not familiar with the particular offer, but interceptors in general, we've had a number of new capabilities being fielded. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about it from an operational perspective of what those are. But I think you have seen over a period of time us kind of get on the other side of this cost curve on drones in general. If I just walk back a couple of years, you remember what you used to always hear? We're shooting down a $50,000 drone with a $2 million missile.
Oh, and especially brings up good. YouTube holding back posts are as random as heck. So I'm not sure exactly what the language is that they don't like, but just know it's not my mods. My mods are usually only there for when people are trying to bully me and shit like that. And usually I have to try to stop them before they block them. So we're fine with people disagreeing and having their own point of view or whatever, but just know that you might have to modify your language, or else the platform is taking it down. It's not us. I don't give a shit what you say.
These days, we're spending a lot of time shooting down $100,000 drones with $10,000 weapons from ours. So that's one aspect. But Lucas,
yeah, see, that's the shit that no one else is saying that except for him. And seeing as the DOD can't fucking pass an audit, I'm more prone to believe the independent journalists and the journalists from other countries. Like, I don't think that we have $10,000 interceptor capabilities, and I don't think that their drones cost that much. Not from everything that I've read and seen.
Indispensable, as many of you know, and if you don't know, this was an original Iranian drone design. We captured it, pulled the guts out, sent it back to America, put a little "Made America" on it, brought it back here, and we're shooting it at the Iranians. Good targets.
Good targets. Absolutely. Right there.
Thank you so much.
And see, like, the smiling and the cavalierness about this, like, they don't, like, these people, and especially people who have been, like, this guy's been in the Navy, like, people who have been in the service for a long time, just like doctors or shit, even artists, politicians, like, there's just, like, over time, like, when you become especially high up in some of these subcultures and the larger American diaspora, like, you're not on the same page with the American people. You know what I mean? Like, the American people have not agreed that, March 1st, we're going to start bombing Iran because, like, that should just happen for us. And that's good for our country. And we want that. That's not what anyone said. Israel said that they were doing something and they said, cool, we got your back. That's a fucking problem, brother, because that's billions and possibly, I don't even want to think about how much money it could end up being. But this is not a cheap decision that they've made. And they haven't consulted Congress. They haven't talked to anybody. They're just doing shit. And they're saying, well, it's limited strikes. Well, it's a war. Well, it's a regime change. Well, it's this. Well, it's strikes. Yeah, and I think that's a big part of it, too. I think he's trying to fuck with the midterms. And then definitely fuck with 2028. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. Like, I'm not sure what the guidelines for it are, but I'm pretty sure. But our Congress is so feckless and useless right now. So useless. It took, I just watched like a 40-minute video last night. They wanted to go into the records for like federal workers, not like federal worker, like the janitors and shit at the White House, but like aides for Congress people and stuff like that, because that lady self-immolated because she was having that affair with that Gonzalez congressman. And they're like, well, we need to look into like payments and all this shit. And they argued for 40 minutes that, well, what it should be everybody, and why can't it be this? And they were just doing this weird partisan dance. And it's like, dude, if he was using his congressional money to pay that lady off and then cut the money off and she hurt herself, come on, man, we got to do better than that. But it turns into this left-right fighting bullshit. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, that's taxpayer money. You know what I mean? Like, it's still not good for the people.
Secretary, President Trump
in his first speech after the launch of the operation Epic Fury, he addressed Iranian people and he said that there's going to be a time for you to come out, but it's not now. Stay home. It's not safe. I want to know if there is a timeline for that you're going to urge Iranian people to come out, how that is going to play out. And
Yeah, come out and take over your government. Also, there's a daisy cutter coming in.
how are you going to protect the protesters? You know that they're going to be shot probably, as we witnessed in January. That's what happened. How are you going to protect and support the protesters? And Admiral, I have one question for you. How are you going to minimize the civilian harms? We have a lot of evidence that the Basij units, IRGC commanders, they are now gathering in schools, in hospitals, in purely residential areas because their headquarters are bombarded. They are
Here comes the human shields line.
ruined, of course. So how are you going to protect the civilians while you're attacking the IRGC people hard? Thank you.
I would just say on the protests, obviously the Iranian people showed a lot of courage in those protests. And we saw the Iranian regime was revealed for what it is in the way they reacted to that. The world saw that. No one's done more than President Trump to reopen the opportunity for those who want a free Iran to do so. Ultimately.
And see, that's just not what the people who were inside the room were saying. You know what I mean? And that interview came out before he comes out here now and say, well, Trump tried to give him everything. It's like, dude, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if that's going to fly because that interview has already been recorded. It's all over the internet. Al Jazeera had it. I think CNN, maybe they did a story on it, but you can hear the guy out of his own mouth. He's like, yeah, they actually went right past what the JCPOA was. And they even had stricter guidelines than before. So they did everything that they asked them to do. You know what I mean? So whatever.
It's common sense, as he said up front. Don't go out and protest while bombs are dropping inside Tehran and elsewhere. So there will come a moment where he determines or they determine that it's the time to seize that advantage. But there's a lot of things we're doing and the Israeli military is doing, targeting those individuals who are targeting those who protest. The more you do that and you erode their will and you erode their capabilities, the more you create an opportunity for people to boldly stand up.
Yeah, I would just reinforce the point. We're targeting the people, or we're targeting the headquarters and the people who are targeting the protesters. First and foremost, I'd also just double down on the president's comments that he previously made to the people: stay in your homes, keep things calm, stay out of the way. There's a lot of U.S. and Israeli capacity coming over. We're hitting a lot of targets. The best thing for them to do for right now is just to lay low.
Right here.
Secretary,
Yeah, that worked great in Gaza. Just stay in your house and they blow the whole thing up.
one common outcome of American military action in the past has been taking in thousands of refugees.
Rest in peace, the
into
smoker.
The American homeland, and I'm wondering if there's any safeguards put in place to make sure that the American people aren't having to have another wave of refugees from the Middle East or anywhere else come and stay
Wow, I should be a journalist.
here.
I think it's safe to say there's no plan for a wave of new Middle Eastern refugees to the United States.
Told you. They're gonna blow up all the infrastructure. They're gonna fuck that people's their country up, and then their country is just gonna be destitute because there's not gonna be anybody there. There's gonna be major brain drain. There's not gonna be any professionals left to keep things running. Like I know everyone just thinks that we just like to shit on things because we like to shit on things over here, but criticism because you haven't thought something through all the way, and then you make it painfully apparent that you're not thinking things through all the way. This doesn't help, like this doesn't help. You haven't thought it through. That's a very good question. What happens when there's waves of refugees coming to America, fleeing the IRGC? He said, they're not coming. You have to stay there and rebuild the dead IRGC country. Like, that's what the plan is. You can't.
America. I think, as the president has pointed out for a long time, there are a lot of countries in the region who would be capable of
I approve this message.
That kind of support if need be, but that's certainly not something we're planning on. Yeah, back there. Yeah.
And see, that's just, and then just like fucking with Al Qaeda and ISIS, they're gonna have a fucking camp out in the middle of the desert with fucking, I don't know, 90 million, or I don't know how many people they're gonna kill, but you want millions of people just living in the camps, just like they did in Syria, like. And that's, I mean, those people were there for like 15, 16 years when I saw the interview. I mean, it's not good.
Sir, Michael in Washington Times. Wanted to ask, I know, Semper Gumby is always a truism.
Hey, you ain't. I'm not opening the sliding glass door so you can yell at the neighbors. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They're not going to help shit.
In the military. Did the British decision?
Oh, Paul says they're going to come to the EU. Thanks for nothing. I mean, this is that's why I don't understand Keir Starmer. That's why I don't understand Starmer. The answer is no, motherfucker. Stop doing this shit. You're gonna create a catastrophe. He's like, no, it'll be great. I have a lot of missiles. It'll be fine.
To refuse Diego Garcia have any impact on the mission itself? Did you have to adjust, or were you able to just completely?
Yeah, I was talking about that earlier.
Go with the mission without even worrying about that.
Well, as the president stated, it was unfortunate that that the Brits didn't from day one say, "Hey, go ahead and have access," but we got there. We got there, and that's now part of the way that we're operationalizing bomber runs, and that's part of. When we say more to come, it's more fighter squadrons, it's more capabilities, it's more defensive capabilities, and it's more bomber pulses more frequently. The amount of firepower.
Like, look at the glee. He's like smiling. He's like so happy about this. But what he's talking about is billions of dollars of infrastructure that have to be shipped across the planet, installed, and then you have to have people there to man it. He is thinking about this like a goddamn video game.
Over Iran and over Tehran is about to surge dramatically. And part of it is that we're going to have even more basing. And it's not just the UK. We've had other friends step up, and we're grateful for that. Maybe one more right here.
Yeah. The Azeri president earlier today basically authorized his Minister of Defense to begin preparing troops for some type of retaliatory action after the airport strike. As the Department of War and CENTCOM.
Person here, you could have spent that money repairing roads and bridges. Bruh. Everybody in America is like sick. Like, we're all slightly sick. Everyone's got an ache or a pain or needs to be going to get like, a checkup appointment or get new glasses or the dentist or all that shit. Like, we have been struggling for like the last 10, 15 years, worse than normal. Like, since the 2008 crash, I don't think we've ever really recovered from that. And it has just been grift after grift, theft after theft, and nothing is going back to the people. Nothing. So with nothing going to the American people, what should we do with the tax money? Give it to the military industrial complex, destabilize another part of the Middle East, and get another fucking 20-year fucking thing going. Because I got bad news for you guys. If you think that this shit's going to be over in like 6 weeks, like he said, no. We have signed up for it. This is going to be the longest thing that we ever do, not the shortest. Like, pull up your maps on your phone, zoom out. Okay, now you can see the whole US. Zoom out, scrolls to the east, and look how big Iran is. This is not Afghanistan. This is not Iraq.
I'm working on deflicting with the Azeri if they were to move in or attempt something in retaliation.
I'm sure there are plans, and I'll let the Admiral speak to that. But that does allow me to kind of address this idea that the war might be expanding, or there's chaos, and nothing could be further from the truth.
I thought it was kinetic strikes, not a war.
If anything, what Iran is doing by targeting allied countries that would otherwise want to stay out of this,
and see, he keeps saying it's other countries, but it's other countries and mostly the American sites on there. There are some like the hotels in Doha and shit like that. These countries have tried to be peacemakers in all of this and try to keep everything from going tits up. But that peacemaker role has also made them a target because they are filled with Americans. You know what else is filled with Americans? America. So good job, guys. Good job.
You pulled them into the American orbit. So now you've got UAE and Qatar and Bahrain and Saudi and Kuwait and others saying, hey, we're with you. We'll shoot with you. We'll fly with you. We'll defend with you. We'll allow you more basing and other a lot of which, we can't talk about and won't talk about, but it's actually
Hope it's not a double cross.
firming up the unity of the resistance.
You know what I mean? I hope it's not a double cross because they've been meeting all the last year and a half. The meetings are online, and Iran was at the meeting saying, hey, we need to come together as a region and repel the Israelis and the Americans. That's what they've been saying for months and months and months now. So when you dropped the first bombs or whatever, and with the B-2 bombers, and you went after the centrifuges and shit like that, that shit was already moved. They didn't trust a word the Americans said. There's spies, Israeli spies, compromised Iranian people working for the Mossad and shit like that, all throughout their network. Like, they understand what's going on because they live this every day. You are not going to just, blow them up into freedom. That's not how this works. He would know that if he actually fucking did anything in his fucking deployments.
To focus exactly where we need to.
Sitting in an office
this
playing in
idea
the
that it's
camera.
expanding or going. No, it's actually simplifying in a number of ways. Exactly what we need to achieve and how we'll achieve it. I don't know if you.
I won't get ahead of policy in terms of what we might do. What I will point out is this is now the 12th country that Iran has attacked. 12 countries, and it goes right back to the Secretary's point. Those 12 countries.
Person, I heard the Iranians are set up in localized cells of power without any leaders left. Who do they negotiate with? They are all dispersed. So from what I understand, like, they already have like 2 huge military factions, and each faction has like multiple divisions underneath it and shit like that. Like, it's very regimented and segmented intentionally to prevent collapse from decapitation strikes. Like, again, they've been dealing with this from Israel forever. Like, they're just doing the fight now. You know what I mean? Like, they're just, okay, so we're actually just going to do the fight. Like, they have been planning for this, and sending in fucking Fox News weekend guy to just launch all the missiles. Like, that's not a good idea, dude.
Are none too happy, and I look forward to working with all the partners who are willing to join us in this.
And I would just close by saying,
Mr. Secretary, one more question. What is your message to Americans who are concerned about security here at home with the change up that we're going to see at the Department of Homeland Security?
well, I think Kristi Noem.
Good Google for you is CI12. That's the group of cybersecurity professionals that we had that specialize in Iran that were fired by Kash Patel.
Did an excellent job over there securing our border and keeping us focused on threats, and the president making a change. We all serve at the pleasure of the president. I'm sure Mark Wayne Mullen will do a fantastic job. He's been a friend of mine for a long time, but Kristi did a great job setting us up for success. So I don't have any concerns about whether or not the Homeland will be covered down on. And I'll just end by saying, I wish every American could get a chance to see what we see. I had a chance to go into the control room, into the Tactical Operations Center, go see these young men and women that are doing this, the dedication that they show at every level, the way.
See how gleeful he is about this? That should tell you everything you need to know.
They've refined their craft. I'm talking to a young colonel who's iterating on how we target and how we find and fix different aspects of what the Iranians are trying to do. If they don't know what they're up against, and if they think they've got it solved for, they're wrong. And ultimately, the combination of our ingenuity, the skill, the
This is American Hasbara.
professionalism, the discipline, and then the sheer weight of the capabilities of the U.S. military, what you're going to see may look routine. It may start to be like, oh, another boat. Oh, another launcher. Oh, another drone facility. What it takes to do this with the precision that we do is world-class. No one else can do it. And it's world-class Americans. Like the ones I saw here, like the ones that are coming home that we're going to greet home, that are the engine of what makes our country great. And so I'm so grateful for folks like those here at CENTCOM, at Central Command, who are under your command.
And I mean, Mar-a-Lago has just been a sieve for spies. It has just been a complete spy honeypot. The fact that he was out of office and had his own security and all that shit, and then you just had and you heard it here first. I think I cracked it, man. It was a while ago, but every morning it's usually 7 or 8 a.m. and every morning the president gets a briefing, and then that briefing usually comes with like supplemental information, whether it's charts, maps, pictures, whatever. It's like a binder. So every it's the staff's job to make sure that that binder is ready for him every morning when he's having his coffee and his omelet. Well, if he was a normal president, when they're eating breakfast and they get their briefing and they get to find out what happened in the world while they were asleep. Trump did not care for that shit at all. So he would just, can y'all wrap this shit up? He needs it on one page. He likes his name on. You guys might remember that. He likes his name on it. So they were taking the report that he was supposed to get and then giving him like the Cliff Notes version of it. Okay. Those departments are still responsible, whether or not the president reads it or not. They're still responsible for putting out those reports. So those reports were just stacking up, and all the supplemental information was just stacking up. They just put that shit in boxes because even when he was at Mar-a-Lago, he was still getting his briefings. So they had to take all that shit and put it in a fucking plane or in a fucking intern's car and get that to the president every day. Fine. Well, it started to take up a lot of space. So he just started sticking them bitches wherever he wanted. And then, I'm allowed to keep this and I can declassify things and da-da-da. He never did his homework. He never actually read the briefing he was getting every morning. So he just let them fucking pile up. So those briefings are filled with information. So any strategy coming out of this country right now, you can just assume has been compromised and has been taken by our enemies, unless it's a new one. But if it's from anything from his first term or after, who knows who has it? He was literally like letting people come in for money and then having parties and disappearing with people. People are allowed to walk around the grounds and do whatever the fuck they want. He had the shit on a fucking dance floor stage or in the gymnasium and shit like that in the turlet. Like this is, he doesn't give a shit. And you guys need to understand that he's just trying to distract you from what, and that he does not give a shit of whether or not this succeeds.
Thank you for your decisive leadership. And all I'll say to you is what I say to them, keep going. Because the president and myself, we have your back. Thank you, Admiral. Appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Mr. Secretary, how is this operation going to ensure Iran never gets a nuclear weapon?
Yeah, see, there's a guy, Israeli security guy.
Thank you, Admiral.
Hey, thanks so much.
How come he didn't have anything to say? All right. Last round of questions, and then I got to go eat dinner because it's already 5 o'clock. In the meantime, will find someone to raid out to. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I always appreciate the company. Sorry, it's been a not so great day, but such is the news. Such is the news. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button. Do that shit. Even if you don't like us, hit the button. The faster you hit the button, the faster I go away. Let's see. Now, who is live right now? Ooh, maybe the Vanguard is live. I want to find somebody that's smaller. Hey, it's the homie. It's the homie. Ow. Jackson. Okay, we'll go over to Jackson. You guys can hang out with Jackson White for a little bit. Let me read the chat. The day not so great, but you're awesome here. Oh, thank you, sir. Hey, at least Kristi won't be making any more commercials. That's for hey, she's been moved to another department. Maybe she's in the commercial department. Maybe she's over there. And maybe a word of caution for everybody. It's like you kind of really have to maybe if you weren't there for the initial strikes like Operation, I forget what the names are. I'm getting hungry. But our initial strikes in the Middle East after 9/11 and stuff like that, the shock and awe and shit like that, just go watch it. It's on YouTube. Just go watch it. You know, go take a look at it. Go take a look at it, and then you tell me like that's what you want to happen to other people. You know what I mean? Just go take a quick peek, refresh your brain, and look at what we did. And you probably will be, you know what? Actually, I kind of don't agree with that right now. You know? That's probably what you will say, because it's not what you thought it was. And it wasn't a big deal for people to care before, but they care now. Okay, good. Copy. Okay, so we're gonna do settings. Nope, that's the wrong button. We're gonna do customization, and we're gonna do redirect, and we're gonna do paste, Shazam, save, and then we're gonna go to the other one, and we're gonna go to customization. We're gonna go to, oh, I already did it. And then we're gonna go to customization. What the? Customization. There we go. I kept outthinking myself. All right, and paste. Okay, you guys gonna hang out with Black Atheist Rants? Dear homie, great rapper. check out his music. But I think that's it for me, y'all. So y'all be good, be safe, and be slow to react, and drink your Meek